Oh, that's
Okay.
big. Oh, hold on a minute.
Okay. All right.
Can you give me Can you 2 seconds? I've just been setting myself up and whatever, but I've just had my inari sushi. I just need to set the microphone distance and stuff
Where'd you get your inari sushi from?
from Family Mart because that's the best one.
Nice.
Sushi roll is the best one.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I was in a rush.
The best
just
one is
like-
actually the one I had in Kyoto. I'll have you know.
The
was
best
shaped
one is
not
the
like
one
a
I paid
triangle.
200,000 yen for.
Wait, really? Did you go
No.
somewhere and pay 200,000 yen for inari sushi?
No,
Obviously
Oh,
not.
wait. How many? Wait, what's that in Japanese? Is that Nijumang?
200,000. Yeah, it's
Nijumang. Yeah, I guess no
Yeah.
one's spending two grand on inari sushi. Like even
No, I
Aki,
don't
that's a
think-
bit much for you.
I really don't think so.
Yeah, but like if someone was offering and it was really good, but it was Nijumang, like would you buy it though?
Depends on how rich I was.
So you need someone to like shout you like some really expensive sushi.
If I was to buy really expensive sushi, it wouldn't be nari sushi.
Oh, true. Like it's like probably the fish stuff. But Aki, consider like start a GoFundMe. Be like, for my birthday, all I want is to eat
No,
really
but
expensive.
I would
sushi.
ask for something a little bit more useful in my life.
All right. Now that our voices are warmed up, Aki, do you want to do the honors?
Hey! Hello! And welcome to episode 2 of Wakatta Furi, a podcast in which we present and pretend to know things about Japan, and we also have slides. I am your host this time. I am Aki. I don't remember how I introduced myself the last time. I pronounced they and them. I do things, I like things, and today we're talking about arcade culture. So let's have the other two of us, the other two out of the three of us, introduce themselves. Starting with
Hi, I'm Zen. I got rained on today, so I'm in a somewhat sour mood. But then I ate some food, and so now I'm feeling a little bit better. But I'm feeling even better looking at this picture of Sonic, which is like probably like 2 meters tall. Sonic. My pronouns are he, or she, or they. I don't care, but I do love that Sonic. Go Rin.
I'm Ren. I also got rained on twice because I went home over lunchtime and had to go back to uni.
Oh.
My pronouns are he and him. I'm not so much into arcades, but I'm willing to learn, hence why I'm here today. Yoroshiku onegishimasu.
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 Onegishimasu. Sorry.
At the time of recording, we have all just finished our first week back in university.
Yay!
So I'd like to have a phrase, or at most, if you must, a sentence summing up your week in school.
Okay, well, you go first, Aki.
Yeah.
No.
You first, Aki.
No, I asked the question so that I could have time to think.
Oh,
Okay.
you use the teacher thing. I always do that when I'm like, oh, I don't know the answer to this. I'll just ask
Yeah,
the
I
student
don't
and hope that they know.
Wow, you scummy teacher.
Listen, sometimes it works though. Sometimes the kid actually knows. But as for how my week has been, it's been like.
You haven't even seen those arcs of Gintama. Why are you adding them?
Hey, you put them on the list. They belong to me.
Yeah, I know.
now.
I put them on the list.
No, actually, my week has been actually quite good. It actually makes me feel a lot like. Wait. Why do I only have these ones?
You only have one sentence.
I don't have any positive ones. Maybe this one's a positive one.
Sure.
I have no happy drops. They're all like upset or angry or sad. So I guess my week has been upset / angry / sad. But actually, it's pretty good.
Describe your drop. Nice.
Yeah.
What about Rin? Ring.
If I had to sum it up, I'd just be like, darui.
Actually,
I'm so tired. My legs are tired. I have to ride up a hill every day, at least once a day, probably twice. And
but
like
listen,
early
have a cool
mornings,
bike.
late nights. I do have a cool bike. Yeah, but you know the Noshisto,
Yeah.
the electric. For our listeners who don't know, they're currently becoming a little more popular in the West. But they're bicycles that use an electric motor to kind of give you a hand in the higher gears.
Yeah.
And when you're going flat out, because of the speed limits, if it senses you're going anywhere near like 20 what is it, 25, 26 kilometers an hour,
24
yeah.
was it? Or
then
25?
it backs off, and you're doing all the work on like a 30-kilo bike going uphill.
Oh
So
no!
it's not that fun.
Oh.
Well, you have to go extremely slow, and then you have a really easy time going uphill. Otherwise, you're pedaling the fuck out, and it's
Uh,
not doing shit.
So the bike's just saying slow down, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
who has time for that?
it's saying like maybe stop trying to rush through life. Maybe you should slow down and like enjoy the journey, not the
The
destination.
journey of being late to class.
Okay, maybe your teachers won't like it so much.
Yeah, no. Anyway,
not.
On
how's your
that
week?
note,
Yes, how's your week been,
my
Aki?
week has been, it's like it's the first week, but I kind of feel like I'm getting into the rhythm. So getting in the rhythm, is
Ooh.
my week.
That's
That's what I was saying.
good. I like that because you've had like I've had I think the least number of classes because like scuba starts really late compared to like every other university that I know of. So like I'm just like I barely know what a class is yet. I've only had a couple of them, but like you two are
What's a
like
class?
What?
What's a
How do you?
class?
What? What have you been doing? It's
I've
supposed to be
been
adulting.
oh no! I'm a student again because I don't want to adult for a little bit.
No wonder why you want to join like 46 clubs, because you have all this time because you're not doing anything.
Oh, it's true. Don't call me out. But yeah, no, it's yeah. Sounds like we've all had a week.
No, we've got a week. And to this week, we are going to be talking about arcade culture.
Yay.
Yay!
So, if you are watching this on YouTube, which you probably are, because I think that's the only place we're uploading these right now, you'll be seeing the picture of Sega it's one of the Segas, as you can see, it's number 3, so it's Sangokan. So it's the third Sega arcades location in Akihabara.
Ooh.
This is a picture I took myself.
Oh, you've done
like-
some field work for us, Aki. Thank you.
Nah, this was like early last year. And I was just there.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's a reason why this is definitely a dated picture, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm excited to hear why this is like. Is this a historical artifact now?
This is a historic artifact now. You're right. I guess like since we're talking about arcade stuff, like I want to get let's get a feel for the room. Like, what's our arcade history?
So I probably first went to an arcade when I was a kid in Geelong, which is where I'm from. In Geelong, there is an arcade which may still exist. I don't know. It's called Time Zone. It's fantastic. They used to have like
That
DDR.
shithole.
Oh, hey, you've never even been there.
I've been to
Right?
I've been to several time zones.
Not in Geelong though. You don't understand. Mine's different. It's different.
Oh,
In
it's just
Disney's
lower
different as well.
budget.
Anyway, I will not tolerate this slander of Time Zone Geelong. But so like it had like DDR. It had like a whole bunch of crane games. Maybe had some crane games. It was like things that you could get like tickets, and you could exchange the tickets for like merchandise. It's like this all like kind of rubbishy, but like you want it because you're like 10. And they also had like Mario Kart. Maybe they had like racing games, like rally games. One where you like sat on this plastic horse and pretended to like do like horse racing. And then on the top floor they had
Wow.
like laser tag. It was like really cool. Like I had my 12th birthday party there. It was
Oh, that's like
amazing.
more than just an arcade. It's like
Yeah.
an amusement zone space.
Laser tag sort of goes hand in hand with these sometimes.
Yeah, in Australia we do have a thing like it's like laser tag and like arcades kind of.
And if you're in the middle of nowhere, occasionally go-karting as well.
Go-karting,
Go-karting.
that's cool.
In the
Yeah,
arcade.
Like
Wow.
Rin, we don't call them arcades though in Australia. We call them something else. And I don't remember what we call them.
What do you call them?
What do we call them?
I
A time zone is a. It's a.
I think you would you call it an arcade?
I guess. Well, welcome to Wakatta Furi, a podcast where we don't know what things are called in our home countries.
Yeah, but like there's a sort of difference in demographic between arcade fans in Japan and in Australia. Like in Australia, like I'd say 90% of all the people I say going into Tons of Fun or whatever it is, like other brands are available, are like what 10 to 13. Like it's not an old demographic.
This is true.
Hence the 12th birthday.
The 12th birthday, yeah. I didn't have any further birthdays there.
The
But, like,
infamous
That makes
12th
sense.
birthday after
it
the
was
fire.
actually infamous. So I have a friend. I have a friend whom I love very much. I'm still in contact with this friend. But like this friend is like very like when they were a teenager and they came to my 12th birthday party, they were very energetic, and they may have used a laser tag gun to like physically attack my brother.
No, you can't pistol whip people in laser tag.
I feel like, and my brother like
Physical
never lets me
assault.
forget this. It's like, what? Like, listen. It was. I didn't see it
Amazing.
happen. Sorry, older brother, I love you very much. But and so like, okay, so I did like take up all the time with my section, but then I came to Japan, and everything was different. There were no more like the little tickets that you could exchange for things, but there was like anime music playing in like blasting my ears out, and there's like all these new games that I've never seen before, and there's like all these characters and the claw machines, and I'm like, I know that character. I want that Sanrio character because I've sold my soul to Sanrio, and yeah, I've spent a lot of money since. But I'm sure I can tell you what
Mhm.
games I was playing later.
Sure. What about you?
Mine's a lot less long. What? I'm talking about history with arcades, of course.
Oh right.
Um,
Okay.
um, I don't know. Like I said before, I went a lot as a kid. Like it was the place to go for birthday parties and stuff. It was like laser tag or arcades, which is basically just crane games, racing games, sort of things like that. And occasionally you have like little indoor like bumper cars and things like that as well. What do you call
What?
them? Dodgems.
That's so cool.
And it's like it's okay, but there's like the level of the equipment isn't that high. There's not really much music based stuff or anything. Like you can't really get into it. It's just a place to basically spend money and get ripped off. And so when I came to
Yeah.
Japan, like I think I only played an arcade for the first time in 2017, a lot long ago, and I was
Right.
bewildered. So I'm a
They're a
bit,
lot, aren't they? Like you walk in and you're just like assaulted by all these
yeah,
noises, and
especially when
like
you get one with like 90% mahjong, and it's like,
oh what?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like I will admit I've like never actually seen. Sorry about the weird noise. I'm turning off my heater because I'm like overheating. But like I've never actually seen mahjong in an actual arcade like
what
game
really?
center in
You
Japan. No,
have
never
to.
seen it.
Most of them don't put them front and center. You kind of have to walk to like the back or
Hmm.
something. But they're there.
Oh, or maybe I've
Yeah,
just
and
not
like
known what I'm looking at. Maybe that's it.
occasionally they're like overwhelmed with by mahjong machines.
Yeah.
Like some of them are having an awful lot. Like I went to one in Osaka that was like at least half just mahjong, just ochisan.
And so, have you been back then?
No,
No.
no,
Wait, wait, wait.
I
No,
have, I
you
have,
went with us. You went with
I
us.
have,
No,
I. Okay, no, I have been back to arcades like since Aki's got me slightly into those. What do you call those musical games where you're slapping the shit out
Rhythm
of it?
games. Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
know, but like, the specific one. It's either way. I've got into that lately. It's
Chunithm.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Chunithm.
That is good.
it's
That's
good.
literally
It's
it.
good.
Okay, Aki, please give us the hour and a half long version of your history
Long
of
version.
arcade games.
Only an
Regale us,
hour and a
Aki.
half?
Regale us.
What is my arcade history? I went to arcades as a kid. Arcades in Singapore are a lot more like the arcades here. It's mostly just the machines. Um,
Hmm.
as a kid, I think I played mostly like the light gun stuff.
Light
The
gun
light
stuff?
gun yeah, like Time Crisis, Blazing
Ah,
Star.
Oh, Time Crisis. We had that at the movie theater in Geelong. Like
Mhm.
when you're waiting for your movie, you can like put in like
Mm.
$2 and you can play Time Crisis. Yeah, yeah.
Time Crisis.
hmm.
And then I got really into like Animal Kaiser as a kid. It's the card collecting one where you collect cards of animals. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like I was really into it as a kid, and like nothing really came out of it. It's just kind of a weird, like side note, footnote, and like my personal history that I used to be really into Animal Kaiser, and I collected like the cards from that machine.
Oh, cool.
Card Captor
Um,
Aki.
card collector Archie. It's another episode. And then after that, yeah, racing games, and then later in my life, in Singapore there are arcades with like they are more like focused on import games from Japan. So that's when I got to My, like rhythm games. I played My, I
Oh,
played
I know
Juby.
my. That's the washing
Yeah,
machine one.
the washing machine one. Yeah.
Hey.
The one like that has been going on for years and years and years. I played My for like it's like coming to like how many years of my life? Way too many. And then I come here and I go to arcades like semi regularly. I go through phases. Like sometimes I'm like really I go like every other day, and then sometimes I just go like once every like 2 weeks or something like that. But I usually go to arcade here and there just to play the new songs. I don't grind out like high scores anymore like I used to. But
Ah. Is that for like time reasons or like you have better things
yeah,
to
just
spend your
time
money on?
reasons and energy reasons really.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like especially recently I've been getting into bouldering, so like
The pictures that you send me, Aki, they're like so cool. I'm just like,
yeah,
I wish
I'm
I
not
knew
even
how to
doing
do
really
that.
hard ones yet. You totally can just jump on there.
I know, but like I'm so fat, like I'll fall off the wall.
I'm pretty sure
I'm
that's not
not
how
fit
it
like I
works.
used to be. Hey, no, I used to I used to climb like not bouldering, but I used to like climb like walls and stuff like
Spot
Are you
climbing.
yeah,
going to make an
like
argument
lead
in physics
climbing.
terms about how gravity is acting more strongly upon you or something?
That's literally, dude. That's literally how gravity works. If you weigh a lot, then like rock climbing is hard. Like it's
Finger
harder.
strength
There's a
doesn't.
reason.
Yeah, but like finger strength is a lot more important than how heavy you are.
No, no, no. But like you have to like pull yourself up the wall, and it's like if Aki tried to like go bouldering with like a backpack that weighed 30 kilograms.
I'm pretty sure
Like
Aki
that.
already does that. They're superhuman.
Damn,
Don't
Aki.
tell me you don't, Aki.
I don't.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry.
Ah, my dreams
I'm
are
sorry.
broken. Anyway, yeah. So I've got to lose some weight, and then I'll go bouldering with you, Aki. It'll be fun.
Hell yeah. That'd be
Hmm.
Woo!
fun.
When we go back to Melbourne, we need to go to that enormous wall on Swanston Street or wherever it is.
Oh, that's so
What?
good. And like the really good one in like Altona, I think it's closed at the moment though, which is really sad. I
Who the
forget what
fuck
it's
goes
called.
to Altona?
Well,
This
like
is the part
people
where they
who like
start arguing
climbing.
about places in Australia. This
I'm sorry, this is
happens.
very niche. I apologize.
This just happens. It's like suddenly, oh, they're just arguing about how certain places in Australia are just shit, or like,
Yeah, there's
Like
quite a few.
I'm usually saying they're good, and Rin's always saying they're bad. So
Yeah.
like you can guess who's talking based on whether you think it's positive. Anyway, Aki, what are we here to talk about again?
we're gonna talk about arcades.
Yay!
Okay, but really, like I wanted to bring something up. Like before we get into like the first section, which is kind of when we talk about, just go into like a short history of arcades, just like really abbreviate, really short history. So the word for arcade is in Japanese is game center, which translates to just game center,
Oh
and
shit.
it's kind of an interesting linguistic difference. Um, it's not. This doesn't really go anywhere. This is just like a factoid that I am interrupting this brilliant introduction
Oh,
for.
we love
You're not
factoids.
interrupting, you're helping it.
I'm helping it. I'm helping it because the definition of arcade. Let me get the dictionary definition of it up.
Oh, you know it's getting serious when we pull out the dictionary.
So, like, the definition of an arcade is a covered walk with shops along one or both sides, or a covered passage with arches along one or both sides. So, like, the word arcade actually comes from the spaces in which the arcade machines are put in. So, it's just like a covered, like,
Oh,
area, like an amusement arcade.
it's like
Under the
a
cover of
shopping strip.
darkness.
Correct, like or like a shopping street. It's just an indoor area that has like these arcade machines, and so that's where the word arcade comes from as an abbreviation for amusement arcade.
Because like we still like nowadays like we sometimes say oh like it's a shopping arcade and you're like oh yeah
Yeah,
it's like a whole bunch of shops on either side with like a roof on top, but it's like
Yeah.
exactly.
that but with it used to be with like video games.
Correct.
Ooh.
Cool.
Which is where that word comes from.
I mean, like, I hate to bring up Australia again, but like, arcades in Australia generally have like bookstores that never sell anything and are covers for drug dens or
Really?
like
Wow.
flower shops
Really?
or like massage parlors and things like that. And they just link between like creepy car parks and shopping centers and
Actually,
things.
yeah, actually there are a couple of those in Geelong. Actually, now that you think, yeah,
There are some
That's
nice ones
very
with cafes
interesting.
and stuff, but like, Yeah, they're not the same sort of arcades you're talking about here.
But like the ones in the middle of Melbourne are quite nice. Like the really pretty old ones.
They're not arcades; they're laneways. But
Oh, okay.
there's like one or two. There's one on Collins Street. I think that's pretty nice, but that's
Oh,
like
that's
fancy as
lovely.
fuck.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone who's not
Okay.
from Melbourne. We'll apologize. We digress. Aki, tell us about Game Center.
I mean, like, this is interesting because hadn't really thought about this, but like, I mean, arcade is generally a place with like arcade machines, but I guess every country has its own peculiar arcade like the way arcades are. Yeah, different cultures in different countries, right? It's not just a Japanese thing. So maybe we should talk about like what are arcades like here?
In Japan, in the country in which we
Yeah,
live,
yeah.
they're like well, like 10 years ago, like they you walk in and you're assaulted by the smell of like tobacco. It's like
Oh yeah.
everyone's smoking, but like
There are still some arcades like that though.
oh yeah, like but it's like they're few and far between now. It used to be like
Yeah, way
everyone, but
fewer.
now it's like
Hmm.
I don't know, just like noisy and flashing lights and like lots of games.
Hmm.
I think I probably got some hearing loss from going to arcades. I'm going to be really honest.
No, I definitely get you. Arcades tend to be like they're not very like this comes into like peculiarities of like Japanese like urban design in general, in which like buildings are generally thin, uh, and built more like not super vertically, but like they don't sprawl. If a building was to sprawl, it's not gonna sprawl horizontally; it'll be sprawled vertically.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
like you've got like the exceptions of like if you go inaka, like there's like
Oh yeah,
and also like depato maybe, but like other than that, yeah, like vertical
yeah. So
is
they're like
sprawls.
small towers. As you can see in this picture, it's like a tower, and like it's no windows. It's dark, and it's just filled with lights from all the machines. And
Not pictured, but imagine, listeners.
imagine, imagine. I think we have some pictures coming up.
Hey,
But yeah, that's what an arcade like is like here, and so we can just sig from that and get into a bit of the history of what arcades are like.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, by the way, it is pictured. I'm so sorry, Aki.
Oh
That's
no,
the inside.
that is the inside of the first floor. You can see it's filled with crane machines.
Yeah, they always seem to
Yeah.
put the crane machines on like the ground floor, don't they?
Yeah, because it's the one that everyone just and anyone can access to. It is usually the one that makes the most money these days.
Well, yeah, because you win the least.
It's like you walk past, like you're on a date, and like you walk past it, and you're like, "Oh, date! Oh, I'm gonna win you a giant Sanrio character." And then you
Oh
go in
yeah,
there and you spend 2,000 yen, and then the lady who works there takes pity on you and like moves it like 2 centimeters to the left, and then you can finally get it. And then you've spent more than the toy actually costs. But like, you know, wait, that sounds like
it's
a fairground, except you actually win something, maybe.
I
Wait, wait,
dare
wait,
say
wait.
that crane games in Japan are a little better set up than ones overseas. They're slightly less scammy in my experience.
But like, Aki, like, can I posit a hypothesis to you?
what is it?
Game center are like fairgrounds.
No, they're not.
What do you mean a fairground? Like what kind of
Like
fair? Like
you go in there and you spend money to like gamble and like get something kind of. And there's like all these different types of games. It's loud, it's colorful. You can get ice creams.
you could probably draw like a line between fairgrounds, like those kind of like Matsuri style kind of like stalls. But
I'm thinking foreign ones. I'm thinking like,
oh,
oh, maybe you
like
don't have them in Singapore.
You're thinking Melbourne ones, aren't you?
I'm thinking, yeah. Listen, I'm thinking the Geelong show. I'm gonna be real honest. This is very
Useless.
local. I'm sorry, but like, I don't know. Sorry, that was just like a side thought of mine. It's going nowhere. Please
that's
continue.
interesting. Well, okay,
Neither's Geelong,
well
but
as
okay.
as we get into the history here, we'll kind of see where they kind of start out. So shall we get into it?
Oh yes. Sorry, that's
If you would.
I forgot. It's my job to press the slides. All right, here
Press the
we go.
slides. All right, so here we are. We are in the age before all the trappings of a modern world. 1970. Well, not all, like a bunch of them. The hot topic ones. It's 1970s. Arcade machines start to appear. And arcade machines were typically found in like bowling alleys or in Japan on the rooftops of department stores.
Why
So if
don't
you
the
look
department stores look like that anymore? Like, we need to
I-
go back. We need to return to rooftop, like, amusement.
I don't know, man. Entertaining people just got more difficult.
Like, I've been on a train, like, near Autonomy's or something, and you go past, no, somewhere, like, in the middle of Tokyo, and you actually go past something that looks like that. Like,
Mhm.
there's, like, you can see, like, roller coasters and stuff.
I mean, there are a few places in Japan that do try and capture that Showa feel, like even if it's not of
Yeah,
any necessary benefit to them. It's just like a vibe thing.
It's
it's
so
a vibe
cool.
thing.
And so, like, you just, like, have all these rides, and then you just have, like, arcade things?
Yeah, I just have those like little like arcade machines. Like arcade machines back then were like pretty primitive. Like they're not like video gamey. They're kind of like, how do you describe them? Like they're a bit more analog, really. Yeah, they're like analog like
Like the
toy machines.
fairground ones, where, like, you
Yeah, a
throw the
little bit
balls
more
in the
like the
clown's
fairground
mouth?
ones, but a bit more. Yeah, but a little bit more mechanized, I suppose.
Ah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like this piston shoots a ball and like it falls into like a certain like you're trying to get to
Ah.
fall into like a certain
Pinball? Was
pocket.
pinball a thing?
Well, not pinball. I mean pinball was probably a thing, but I'm actually not very sure.
Yeah, me neither. I just remembered that pinball exists.
Yeah, random note, but my friend's dad collects pinball machines. So he has just a room in his
Everyone's
house.
dad collects pinball
Wow,
machines.
that is
It's such a
not
dad
cute.
hobby.
That's what everyone's dad. Who do you know that collects pinball
I
machines?
don't know. It's like a I was born in the 1950s and now I have lots of money to spend and I have a large garage kind of hobby. It's like,
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He also collects motorcycles, so I guess that's yeah.
yeah, that's a
He's
demographic.
just a
I
walking
respect
midlife
that.
crisis.
Hey, it sounds fun. I'm gonna go play all the pinball machines at your friend's dad's place.
Yeah.
That pinball's an interesting thing to pick up because I don't think pinball has been a very huge part of arcade culture in Japan.
Yeah, because
I've
I've
never
never
noticed
seen
one.
one in one.
Yeah, I think they're actually more of a Western thing.
Yeah, but like they always like make like the Pokemon pinball games and stuff. I don't know. I swear it must be a thing here somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
I think there's a roman for it. There's kind of like this like it's a thing, but like I don't think it's so like
Ah.
generalized that you can find it in every arcade.
Hmm.
Or I might be wrong, and like there might have been a like kind of point of time in which they were very common.
Yeah, well there you
But
go. We haven't
but
researched this,
yeah,
listeners. We
no,
apologize.
not really
Go
much.
Google arcades.
Really?
Go Google it.
Go. You'll find out. You know more than us. Just like just leave.
Yell
Just
at us in
leave.
the
Don't stop
comments.
listening. Oh yeah, tell us in the comments. Yeah, go search and then come back.
Do our research for us. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
only know about the rides that make go spinny on the roof, and then you go and you like place them up with like mechanical games.
And
in
then
sets.
in 1978, Space Invaders. Space Invaders it becomes a
Wow.
thing.
Yeah, and so that when the aliens invaded, like were they benevolent or?
They were benevolent. They appeared in boxes, and we were handily given small ships to shoot them down with.
Oh, that's very generous of them.
Very generous.
Anyway, so in the late 70s, we got Starfleet ships, and then we all sat in boxes and we like fought the aliens.
And that's what Space Invaders is. If you don't know what Space Invaders is, then you are like in due for some history lessons. Space Invaders is like it's an arcade game. It's kind of like one of the premier, kind of the earliest arcade games that really well made the arcade gaming scene to what it was.
Where does this sit, like age wise, in relation to like Pong and like Frogger and stuff like that?
I believe Pong is older than Space.
I think Pong's the oldest one, pretty
No,
much.
Pong
But
is the oldest one. Correct. Pong is the oldest one. Frogger is later. Yes.
But like
So
actually having one of these in your house was later. Like the Atari was after this, right?
yeah, I mean, home consoles are way after, like a bunch after, not way after this, but like a bit after this.
Ah, right. Yeah. So like before you could have like your Pong in your house, you'd have your Space Invaders. Hi, this is Zen in post production. So it turns out we actually got it back to front. So you could actually buy Pong Atari console in 1975, which was a couple of years before the Space Invaders boom in Japan. So just wanted to correct that before we continue. Now back to the pod. Where is that on the right? Is that like a Space Invader place?
So on the right, they're called like invader houses, like or like invader houses, and they're just like these like cafe like spaces where people sit around and play Space Invaders.
Wow, like do you like get drinks and stuff? Like do you like
Yeah,
order like
you
a
buy drinks and like it comes from this kind of tradition that isn't much around anymore, in which they made these tabletop cabinets. So like Pac-Man was also made in this form. Like Miss Pac-Man was big as well in this form. Like coffee shops would have them. Like just normal coffee shops, which would just have like a table that had Space Invaders or like a Pac-Man in it, and you would sit there, and it'll be kind of just like an amusement thing you could do while um, whatever else you do at a cafe.
So this is like a kind of stopgap between like the sort of library cafe and pre like internet cafe.
I guess. I
Oh.
mean, I guess you could draw a lineage there, but I'm pretty sure Manga Cafe are kind of like a completely different like.
I wouldn't say like manga cafe, but like, you know, when you get ones that just have like bookshelves and chess tables and things like that,
Mhm.
like where you
Mm.
can sort of partake in a hobby while you're having a drink or whatever.
I guess yeah,
Yeah.
you could see this as part of that. Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
It's
that is
cool.
pretty
Like
cool.
it's so Showa. Like it's just like the vibes it's emanating is so amazing. Like
And like, this is kind of like we're jumping forward like a bunch forward, but like there were internet cafes. Like the earliest internet cafes were kind of like this. Like there would be a computer, the internet, there would be an internet connection, which was rare at that time, and you could go to the cafe with like a friend or yourself and get a drink. You pay by the hour, and you use the internet, and that was like a thing
I've
back.
been to internet cafes.
You've
Like that
been
was
to
my
an internet
childhood.
cafe,
Yes, I've been to many internet cafes.
like that style of internet
No, no,
cafe.
no, not like a Japanese style one. Just like like I remember like going traveling in like the early 2000s with my family, and like we just like, oh, I need to go check like the work email, and like my dad would like log onto the email or something, and then like me and my brother would like look up like I'd look up the new Pokemon news about the new game or whatever, like. Like I can't be away from the internet. I need to know if Pokemon Emerald's gonna be good.
Wait, have you ever been on a cruise?
I have been on a cruise, yes,
You
and
know,
I had
like
internet
how did you have internet? Did you pay
because
for it?
it was like freaking like embarrassingly recent.
Wait, what? Wait, they have internet now? That you do you have to pay for
Yes,
it?
What? Yeah. Can you
probably.
imagine being on a cruise without internet?
Yeah, like I did it, but the oh, but also like I was in a much nicer place. I was in the Mediterranean, so there's like less to get bored
Ooh.
by. But the but like the internet rates on cruise ships, because there's nothing there except for whatever they have on the ship, and
Yeah,
it's like,
they
do
charge
you
a
want
lot.
to pay like 600 grand or your two first children? Like it's pretty pricey.
I'm pretty sure it's not so pricey anymore.
I mean,
No,
maybe
no,
not
it's become
anymore.
cheap. Yeah, yeah. It's like how like on planes, like you used to be able to like pay to make phone calls and stuff, and like it would be really expensive, but now it's just like free internet, and everyone's like, yay!
Wait, there's free
Also,
internet on planes?
yes, I don't know. Listen, I sound like an absolute like CO2 emissions like monster here, which I am. Like I'm not going to deny that, but like I
Then stop farting.
apologize. Oh, is that why my room smells? All right. Well, Aki, can you please tell us like is there like a name for this institution on the right? Because I want to go to one.
Yeah, it's called an invader house. It's like I mentioned this just now. So they're called invader houses.
Invader House.
That sounds like a setup for like a training exercise by like the FBI or something.
Invader house.
It sounds like a knockoff stage for Black Ops or something.
Yeah, he completed the invader house in 4 minutes 22 seconds. That's a state
Oh
record.
no! That's just
The
a kill
escape zone.
house. That's just a kill house.
Well, the one on the right looks quite relaxed. So I'd like to go to that invader house. Actually,
Mhm.
sounds like a good time. Just bring a friend and put some coins in.
Another thing that appears in this era, so Space Invaders is 1978, but in the 1980s, another very important cultural artifact, institution probably, appears, and it's the UFO catcher.
UFO
Ooh.
catcher.
So
Woo!
if you can get the next slide.
Oh yes, next slide, please. Here we go. Boop. Boop. Yeah. What?
Okay.
Wait.
UFO catcher is
What are those picking up? It looks like the anime sensor.
It's it's a Wikipedia page that's probably just like for copyright.
Oh, like it's
True.
some copyrighted character.
Yeah.
Ah, naruhodo. Okay.
Is this what those things in Toy Story are based on? Like the aliens in the machine?
The claw.
Yeah, that one, that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. But so like
Sorry, I
um
continue. Don't mind us.
so okay.
What's the claw for, Aki?
Yeah, it's for grabbing. It grabs stuff. Oh my god.
I like grabbing stuff with the claw, but the claw's not very good. It turns out,
The
like they
claw
must,
is
like,
not very good. Sometimes the claw doesn't have tension.
it must be. There is no other explanation except that there's poor quality control in the claw factory. Like they
Oh
just
yeah,
must make them
definitely.
badly. Like that's they need to. If someone just goes and fixes the claws, like imagine how many large stuffed Pikachu toys I could have. Listen, I need to fill my room up with these giant Pikachu toys, but it denies me. Why? Why, Aki?
They're usually there's like a set tension to them, and so like you stores can set the tension lower or higher based on
Oh,
like
what?
kind of an average amount of tries it takes to get a certain price.
This is blasphemy. How could they do this to me?
And actually, it's like interesting because you can go to certain places and like they'll be known for like having particularly strong claws, or like certain machines who have stronger claws, and then like they limit you to getting one prize per session. It's like a thing.
Oh, whoa! Like you'd have to have like, how would it know what a session is? Like it's like per hour. Like that's wild.
Or like time you come, I guess. They probably like will recognize you maybe.
Recognize? Is it like facial recognition on the? Oh my god! Oh my god! What? Could you
No, the
imagine?
person just sees you and they're like,
Oh,
"Can you not play that anymore?"
Yeah.
uh, uh, oh, because people work at these. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh
People work
yeah,
at these.
and then it's Japan. People are generally quite like fairly nice about not being mean about things like that.
Yeah, I've got helped so many times. They just keep moving the toys for me so I can get it.
And do they actually get it out for you?
No, well, they didn't actually get it out for me. They just like moved it from an impossible spot to like a quite easy
Ah,
spot. Yeah, and so
right,
like
right, right,
I
right.
managed to get a whole
Yeah,
bunch. They took so
yeah.
much pity on me.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Shout out to the game center like near Koenji Station to the southwest of it. Like the lady there was so nice to me.
I feel like they take like more pity on tourists sometimes.
Yeah. I felt very cared for. Anyway, so like UFO catchers, when did they start being a thing?
In the 1980s. I don't have an exact year with me right now, but it's in the 1980s. I think like
Yeah.
mid 1980s. And like interesting about UFO catchers. So like the word for crane games in Japanese, sometimes you get like a good number of people who say UFO catcher as like the generic term for crane machines, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like one example in Japanese. Like generalization is pretty big in the Japanese language. Generalization is is some probably already know. It's when generic term for something is taken over by a brand name.
Oh, like how in
Yeah.
Australia we call like the little things that you put on you if you get a scratch, we call them band-aids, which is the name of the
Yeah.
brand that we
It's the one
Yep.
example you always go back to.
listen. Like it's
But we don't use like
There's
ubiquitous.
Kleenex or like Xenox or anything.
There's
Xerox?
Ziploc. I think Ziploc is
Ziploc,
pretty.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mm.
Ziploc is
I
pretty
do call
common.
them Ziploc bags, yeah.
Yeah, when they are not actually Ziplocs. Stuff like that. So
What?
like, and it happens a lot in the Japanese vocabulary. Like hochikisu
Hochikisu, is that one of those as well?
is a
Hochikisu is the stapler.
generalization. Is this yeah, but it's actually just a specific brand of stapler.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Or like apparently like what's it called? Like a shachihata shatahachi.
I was gonna say shakuhachi, no.
Shakuhachi.
Yeah, like the stamps.
Yes,
that like
the
stamp
self-inking
automatically.
stamps.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah, that's
also
a
a
brand, isn't it?
generalization. Yeah, it's a brand as
Shachihata
well.
janai?
Yeah, shachihata.
Shachihata.
Like that's also a generalization.
Oh, there you go. It's just some brand and just made it and everyone's using it, so they just call it that now.
Yeah.
And so is like UFO catcher the same? Like was it like a Sega thing?
Yeah. UFO catchers is a Sega thing, and people just call them UFO catchers.
It must have been super successful.
Yeah, super, super, super successful. I think even now, like say the Sega prize machines is still pretty one of the biggest. I mean, definitely, they're still one of the biggest. And that new UFO catcher thing is like a very iconic, like retro, UFO catcher model.
Yeah, I love the Sonics on the prize doors. That's really cute.
I'm pretty sure like you can find them in like Yakuza, like in the Yakuza series games. I think
Oh
they do
yeah.
replicate this specific model of UFO catcher.
Oh, I love that so
The
much.
hell?
Yeah.
The Yakuza series is wild, dude. You should play it. I say, having not played a single one, but
It's perfectly cool. But yeah, that's UFO catchers, a very big part of the world of arcades. And this is when, so after this, in the late or mid to late 80s, is when dedicated arcades become very popular. This is when more arcade games actually start coming out.
so like before then, it was just like you went to Inbeda House, or like there's just like a random UFO catcher like in some building
Mhm.
that's unrelated
Yeah.
to games.
Yeah. And then you get the driving games, you get your Froggers, you get your
Hey.
light gun games. And then we get to the 1990s, and that is so 1990s is kind of an important time for arcades as well, because that is where you get kind of what is the what becomes very lasting big trends in what is popular in arcades.
The
Mhm.
90s. So many good things.
So many good things. So if you can see the next slide with most of the pictures. So on the left you can see Street Fighter. That's Street Fighter 2, but 90s is where Street Fighter appears, and the fighting games become a very big part of arcade culture. On the right, we have Taiko no Tatsujin, which Zen is
Bonga
very,
bongo.
very excited about. Oh my god.
Yes. Okay.
You waiting! You waiting for the moment to use that!
Sorry.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
So Aki, like, just send me like the Taiko no Tatsujin like bat signal whenever you want me to launch into my rant about.
Alright, I'll let you
Taiko.
know.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll hold it in. I'll conceal, don't feel. Don't let them know. Okay. Continue.
And on the bottom, we have Purikura,
Prikura.
which is short for Print Club. So Printo Club. And we'll get more into all of these later on when we talk about the like individual games and stuff. But just be aware at this point, I guess, in our short, very abbreviated, not very well researched history of arcades, that these three are still very popular to this day.
Indeed.
Yay! They're all good. I mean, I can't speak for Street Fighter, but it's probably. I think it's good, right?
I've never
It
even
is.
been in a Pudikura actually. I mean, for
Oh, we need to
semi-obvious
do that.
reasons.
Oh, Rin, next time
Oh,
I
I need
see
to
you, we're going to
go.
Prikura for like research reasons.
Yeah, but what if you have a face like a truck fire?
It makes everyone pretty.
I'll have to probably you probably have to dress like dress femme if you want to go.
No,
Yeah.
you absolutely do not.
No, you know
Listen,
that
I've been to Purikura in like early 2010s with a whole bunch of like there was like guys from like a judo club, and we all just went in, and then like it just gave everyone the beautiful makeover, like the blushes,
As in,
like the
like they literally don't
blush.
let you in. Like, oh, they don't let all male groups in.
What?
Yeah,
What?
like
No, that sounds fake.
it's a
that
thing
sounds
here.
pretty normal.
What? I've
Like if
literally
you
never heard of that.
in front of like the particular section, like there'll be like no males allowed unless accompanied by a female.
Oh, I hate that so much. I'm gonna sue the pretty credit companies for that. That's not
You will
equal
lose, but
opportunity. I feel
It's
like
very
you might win
interesting.
though, Janae.
I mean, you know, nightclubs
You could
don't
win.
let groups of guys in. Like, it's a pretty
Oh,
Oh
common
yeah,
thing.
really?
unless they
Wow.
pay a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm learning how society works.
Just get there's too much meat on the barbecue, you know.
There's
Continuing
usually
right along.
too much meat on the barbecue. I mean,
All right.
continue right along.
Yes.
Pretty cool, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
All right.
it's a good time to talk about like what arcades represent in terms of gaming in general, like video gaming in general.
It's always a good time.
It's always a good time. But like
Oh yeah.
arcades are popular, and this is the same everywhere. Because they existed in a point of time where the graphical quality, like the game experience you could get in an arcade, was always way, way far and above what you get at home.
Yeah. Like
Mm.
at the time, like you can barely buy like Famicom, but then you go into
Yeah,
an
like
arcade and
console.
it's got like all of these like fantastic
Hmm.
like different like things that you can like controllers and
Yeah,
like the graphics are way better and like sounds better
And just
and
like
you
the
don't
pure
have all of
size of the
these.
screens and stuff, and like
Yeah.
the experience is just heightened massively. Just how
yeah.
big and loud everything is.
So that was always the big like kind of reason why arcades did so well, and so obviously arcade culture has endured in Japan longer than it has endured in other countries. And there has
But like you
been
can still do like arcade stuff in like lots of different countries. Like
oh, you can
Australia is kind of
definitely,
dying,
yeah,
but
but
like
Japan has had their prime period kind of exist longer than any other country has had.
Mm.
yeah, that makes sense actually.
Like the fact that even now you still get new arcades opening here and there,
It's still extremely relevant.
it's still very relevant, exactly, and that's not true everywhere in the world, in most places in the world.
Yeah, like
Yeah. I mean,
Geelong.
like in
Um,
East Asia, I feel like is just kind of like a hub for arcades in general. But like yeah,
I would
definitely
say
Japan.
Japan, yeah. Um, Southeast Asia has arcades, but it's not as, I guess, like pervasive as it is in Japan. Japan's really unique in that regard.
When I went to China, like they like arcades were big. Like they were literally physically big, and they were like also like popular. At least the ones that I went to, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember it being like a thing, and I was really excited that I could play like Japanese games. And I went to China. I was like,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
interesting. I guess the West has seen a very rapid decline of it, and like it has held up in some other
Yes.
areas. And one of the reasons is that's often touted as the reason uh, arcades have been more relevant in Japan is this whole narrative of Japanese homes being small.
Well, I mean, like Japanese homes do be small.
And well, which is the truth part, and then the narrative part being it's small so people don't play video games at home because the whole family is in one room. Another thing which is a bit probably a bit more true is that people don't gather in each other's houses as much as they do in like going over to your friend's house like is a little bit more common, like a bit less of a thing, which is an interesting narrative that I always felt that held fairly. Like it's like going to like a friend's house is definitely like a thing here. It's like sure it's like slightly less of a thing than you get in like I don't know rural America, but
Mm.
like by no means is it not a thing here.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's just
Mm.
like it feels like a little bit more of an occasion. It's like, wow, I'm going to that person's house. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Unless
Because
like
you
you're
have to
like
like
trying to
omotenashi and
cook it.
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. And like the houses are small, and like you see their mom and their dad and a younger brother who's annoying sometimes. It's like, I mean, I guess it's the same in like all countries, but like
Mm.
I feel like just because the houses are a bit smaller, maybe it's a little bit
Yeah,
harder to have guests
maybe
over.
it's a bit hard. Yeah.
If you don't mind, if I go back to your first point for a minute, how people's
Hmm.
houses are small and they sort of meet at a common sort of public place,
Hmm.
i.e.,
Hmm.
the arcade. This
Yeah,
sort of sounds like the function that, say, a pub serves in like the UK and Ireland. Like,
right.
because everyone has
Yeah.
small houses, they all just meet at the pub. Like, that's where all the socializing happens.
That is like the third space kind of
The
conjunction.
third
Yeah.
space, yeah.
Hmm.
Like I feel
The
like
third man.
they the third it's a thing. It's a thing. It's the third space. Like did like
Mm.
haven't people like called their like cafes that? Isn't that like a like is
Yeah,
it a meta thing?
cafe is
People
a
like
third space in a sense.
So
yeah.
weird. Third space,
Wait, what's
third
the second
wave.
space? Is it like home work like and then
Yeah,
the
home
third
and
one?
work, and then the third space is the shared social space.
I'm just learning all these useless constructs now.
Hi, this is Zen again in post production. We keep saying third space, but we actually meant to say third place. Just wanted to not teach you the wrong one. It's third place. All right, let's get back to it. Listen.
Wow.
That's why the three of us hang out, because between the three of us, we know some stuff sometimes.
Some more than others, but yeah.
I feel gently roasted. Just gently.
You know what? You know I'm joking.
I'm aware.
I'm not joking.
Listen, Rin has a very different culture, like family culture, when it comes to like how you like interact. And so like with my family, it's always like, oh, how you going? Oh, I've had a great time. And then with Rin's family, it's like, your face looks like a butt. And you're never gonna find someone who will love you ever. And I'm like, and then like you're like, oh, this is normal. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I'm having this cultural dissonance. Like,
I'm just surprised that no one's ever told you your face doesn't look like a butt. Wait, no. I stuffed that up. I'm surprised no one's ever told you your face looks like a butt.
No, I've actually never had that said to me in my entire life up until today.
Okay, well, I think now is a good time to tell Zen
Yes.
that your face looks like a
My
butt.
face looks like dandelions. And
I'm sorry.
Smiles. And why is this coming up? Can you two see that? Is that subtitles?
Yes, I can. Zen, your face looks like a butt.
You turn on the auto closing
Alright,
thing.
It's gone. Listen, I don't know how to use a
Amazing.
computer. Like, listen, I only recently got access to freaking PowerPoint again for the first
Oh
time in multiple years.
gosh.
And it's got these like, oh, record your voice, subtitles. I'm like, what? I remember when word art was the coolest thing it had. Anyway, continue.
Good
Sorry,
old word art.
we're talking
No,
about third space.
we can just talk about that, but we can also talk about money,
Money.
which is a weird. Like, I've heard this theory. I don't remember where I've read this or where I've heard this, but like a theory of why money of why arcades continue to be so popular in Japan is because of money culture here, specifically the existence of the 100 yen coin.
Oh, the 100 yen coin is amazing, amazing
Yeah.
little thing. Wow.
Because
yeah,
like the 100 yen coin, like everyone has lots of coins in Japan. Like coins are just a thing. Like even now, I still just have like a pocket, like a coin purse full of coins.
because like for those who are unaware, Japan is like it's a cash culture still. Like,
Yeah. One is a cash counter. Two, they have cash. Like they have a 500 yen coin, which is like 5 USD essentially.
It's an amazing coin.
it's an
It's
amazing
an
coin.
amazing
Except they've ruined it recently, but that's a topic for a different day.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
wait
it
a bit.
looks fine.
No. I mean, it looks fine. It just doesn't. Nowhere accepts it.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
none of the old
that's a
vending
topic for
machines
different.
do. Oh yeah, different time. But like, so the 100 yen coin has like the value of it has stayed fairly static, and so like 100 yen is gonna get like the tradition of 100 yen one play continues across time, which has which raises the accessibility. Like in Singapore, if you want to play arcade game, you have to like change them out for tokens, change money for tokens, or like
Tokens.
they use cards, like so those card reader things. So you top up, you put money into the card, and then like the machine has these card readers that will deduct from the card.
Yeah, same in Australia. Like, because I feel like in Australia and presumably Singapore, like inflation is a thing. Like, if you
Oh,
said
yeah.
it's like $1 one play, and then like 5 years later, like you're not making enough money to like cover costs because
Oh, yeah.
$1 isn't worth as much as it used to be worth, and so therefore you have to increase it, and then you like the machines like you have to like reprogram them somehow, and you have to get them to take like smaller currency, which is extremely like it sounds annoying.
Yeah, and people
And
aren't
so,
gonna
like,
do that.
and so that's why you have like this third currency. No, you have this second like way of paying for them where you have to like go through like tokens, or like you have to go through the smart money or whatever. But whereas in Japan, they don't have this problem of inflation. At least they haven't since like
inflation
the start
exists.
of the 90s.
But yeah, but like,
But
around the
like,
time
since
when
the
this
90s,
became, yeah, it's the 90s. Like the value of that 100 yen has stayed stable
very
enough.
stable, yeah. And like some years, like Japan actually had deflation, like in the late 90s
Oh, yeah.
or early 2000s, I think. So it's just like 100 yen is 100 yen. It's 100 yen.
And that's kind of one of the things that keeps arcades relevant. So we have like disclaimer or like caveat is obviously games. So nowadays, you get these games that are 300 yen games.
300
Ooh.
yen? That's
Yeah,
3 times what I'm used to paying.
they're
Matthew.
usually those huge, big novelty machines, like that, like shake and move and like are very high production value. Those are 300 yen a player.
Those ones, like I feel like Densha de Go is also one of those. Is it?
Well, probably,
That's
yeah,
at least
probably.
200.
Yeah, and like I remember with my friend where we were in Odaiba once, and like we did like the Luigi's Mansion one where you sit in there and like the ghosts turn up on the
Mm-hmm.
screen and like it
Mm-hmm.
shakes and everything. Yeah, I think that was more expensive too. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know the type.
those tend to be 300 yen a player.
It's fun though.
It's fun. But so
Listen, we'll take you in. We'll go do the Luigi's Mansion one if it still exists.
while we're still
It
in the
probably doesn't.
90s, um,
Running in the 90s, yeah.
running in the
In the
90s.
90s.
How far can we go before we get DMCA?
I know. I was just thinking that. This is fine. This is fine. I'll cut it out if they like strike us with copyright.
And so arcades get very popular. However, they get popular until, as we can see next thing
slide?
here, next
Yes.
slide here, until 1993, and then there's a steady drop in the number of arcades.
Clearly
Right.
because Kurt Cobain killed himself in 1994.
Is that a thing?
Who's that? Who's that?
What?
Who's what?
Kurt Cobain?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Wait, are you serious? Are you being serious?
I don't know who that is. Should I know who that is?
What?
Have you ever heard of a band called Nirvana?
I have heard of a band called Nirvana, yes.
Okay, well, just log out now and just go listen to them.
Okay. Alright.
But he's a really famous, like, yeah. Wait, do you really didn't know who Kurt Cobain
I
was?
really don't know
Infamous.
who that is.
That's amazing.
Have you never heard, like, Smells Like Teen Spirit or anything?
Yeah. They were performing at Tsukuba the other day,
Who
literally.
do you think sang that?
I don't know. I guess Nirvana now that you've given me the answer.
Well, yeah, specifically Kurt Cobain, yeah.
Ah.
He famously killed himself in 1994. I was making a very vague sort of correlation does not equal causation kind of joke. But it went over your head because you're extremely,
No. I'm different.
what do you
I
call it?
grew up
Stupid
under a
when it
rock.
comes to pop culture.
My pop culture knowledge is not great. Listen, this is fine. I'm learning. I'm being taught about people from the 90s. Anyway, so number go
Anyways,
down. Number
Number
go
goes
down.
down.
Oh,
And
that's not good. I don't like it when number
This-
go down.
That's not good. So, arcades just have this steep decline after a while, and but there are lots of different reasons, and I guess we can get into some of the reasons here. The first big reason, of course, is that at some point, home consoles catch up to arcades.
Like you can go home and play like Super Mario 64 and it's like as good as what you can play in the arcade.
Yeah. So it's around the 90s where home consoles are getting way, way better. 3D graphics are becoming part of consoles. Like 3D graphics are getting better in parts of consoles as a part of consoles. Like when did Super Mario 60? Like when did Mario 64 come?
Early 90s, don't I? Oh no, I need to look it up. Oh, this is embarrassing. I should know
Mario
this.
64 comes out in 1996.
Oh wow, it was not early 90s, 96. All right,
It
okay.
was
I was
lit.
I
one.
miss
But,
Super
like,
Mario 64.
It's such a good game. Mwah.
fantastic game, a legendary game. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the home console scene starts to take over. And then as we go on, like we talked about, I mean, so there's one of the bigger reasons. Like just in general, there's no need to go to an arcade anymore. And then kind of feeding back into what we talked about before in terms of the arcade being a gathering space is the rise of mobile gaming.
Mobile gaming, you
Uh,
say?
Mobile gaming. And mobile gaming is like probably if we ever do like an episode on like Japanese video games,
Video games?
video game
I think that would be
culture,
like 15 hours long episode, that one.
it would be. It would be.
we'll be recording as an all-nighter.
Very, 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 very long. If you actually, can we look at the next slide?
Oh yeah, sure. Yes. So
So this is
can I do a translation?
sure.
This is the scale. This is the kibo of the game market inside Japan, and we got five funky colored lines. So the red line, which is at the start, it's at the start. It's at the top one at the start. Is like that's arcade games, right? So
Yeah, those are
like
arcade
Gilme
games.
or it's like business game machines, game
Yeah,
consoles.
game machines owned by business, being owned by
Ah,
businesses.
and then the blue one is like home video
Home
game
consoles.
consoles. Yeah,
Yep.
and the yellow one is PC online gaming, which is very low in the
Yes.
90s. I guess that makes sense.
Yes.
And then the green one is mobile game. Oh,
Yes.
Keitai game,
So
not
it's
mobile
not
game.
just it's not mobile games. It's portable gaming. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's like the Game Boy and stuff.
Correct.
Oh, wait, why does it start in 2000? Wait, is that when
I
the
guess
Game
it's
Boy came out?
no Game Boy came out before 2000,
It
but
did, didn't it?
um,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And
it's when it
then
becomes a bit more like actually relevant, I suppose.
right, and then the grey one is smartphone gaming.
Yeah,
And it
the Game
goes
Boy
zoom
smartphone
zoom.
game.
Sorry,
Zoom
can you
zoom.
explain what we're looking at? What are the trends, Aki? Can you break down the trends?
Breaking on trends. So like kind of interesting. Like I'm not even really sure about these numbers because so it says here that arcades still represent a higher like profits, like not like just like yeah, profit space, which is I guess fair. Well, I never knew that. I never
Pachinko,
knew.
pachinko.
I mean, yeah, we have to kind of talk about pachinko as part of that.
Do you?
But
I feel like
I
pachinko, like in my brain, when I think of Gamer Center, like my brain like cordons off pachinko and like thinks of it as a separate entity because like I feel like I do go to Gamer Center occasionally, but I would never go to pachinko. So I like consider them separate in my brain, even though in many cases they are like kind of like similar games in the same space, kind of in many cases.
I'm not very sure if this graph put actually consistent part of it, but like if it did, that would make sense because that's a very high number for. Actually, I don't think it's part of it.
Oh really? Oh yeah, maybe.
I
Sorry,
think
we
no,
don't know.
because I'm pretty sure the numbers of pachinko are still very high and like way higher than this.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
But
pachinko is pretty astronomical.
yeah, this probably just in still kind of this it probably includes crane machines and crane machines are really just like still a very big money maker for for
Ah.
people. Um, and so it's still valued above the home console market, and like you see how the home console market kind of continues to fall,
It
which
does.
is a
What's up with that?
thing, which is actually a thing, like in
Ooh.
apparently like that, like the actual overall market share of consoles was still falling. I'm not sure if it's still
But these
falling or
numbers
not.
only go to 2017, and that's when the Switch came
Yeah,
out, right? Yeah.
yes, and it's just kind of breaks this format because of its kind of like, is it a home console or is it a portable console?
Oh, so it's like a blue line and the green line. So it's
Yeah,
like
it's
because
kind
it's
of
portable
both.
and home. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Switch do definitely throw a wrench into this chart here. But what's important to see is that there's a big crash in terms of how many arcades existed. And like by the way, this graph comes from like it's the association that makes arcade machines.
They have a stake
So it's
in
pretty
the
accurate.
business.
So they have a stake in this. This is not this is not an unbiased model, which is why I'm like a question mark on like these numbers still. I have not cross referenced them, but it's again like I think the general trends are still correct and worth looking at.
Wait,
Hmm.
so it might be
I
inaccurate.
think it's probably inaccurate.
It's okay. I'll
Mm,
cut out the part where you said inaccurate.
doesn't matter. I'm stupid.
All right, I'll leave it in. It adds flavor.
That's fair. It's probably inaccurate in some ways, but I'm like not very sure at all. Um, so the arcades declined because of home consoles becoming a very big thing. We're like reiterating, but then mobile gaming, which we'll talk about now. Mobile gaming, kind of.
And that's the grey line, right?
Um, sorry, I'm talking about portable gaming. Sorry, portable
Portable
gaming.
gaming. Yeah, the green line.
Yeah,
Green line. Yeah.
the green line, and that is where stuff like Pokemon comes out. Stuff like Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter is really big in Japan in
I was going to
terms
say, is that
of
like Monster Hunter on the PSP or something?
On the PSP, correct. On PSP and the DS specifically, those are
DS.
like
Ah.
PSP and DS eras are when portable gaming in Japan like it's just super huge.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like for reference, listeners. So like, you see the green line where it's at the very top. Like that was when I first came to Japan. Like as a kid. Like so when I came in 2010, everyone at my high school would bring their DS after school and we play like Pokemon in like our art club after class. And
Mhm.
like 2011 is just like it was just like everyone was playing like Pokemon Black and White in
Oh my
2011.
gosh.
Pokemon Black and White, like the first ones, and like it was huge, like DS stuff. Like it was just yeah, it was a phenomena.
It was
It
huge.
was a phenomenon. I'll leave that
Also,
in
this
for
is
flavor
a
as well.
this is a bit of a weird what do you call it idea. But I was speaking to some people who were involved in what were they involved in engineering of some sort, and there was I don't know how they
Really?
knew this, but they were saying about how most modern video games, like for sort of home consoles and stuff like that, are made on not the profits aren't huge. Like
No.
the or more like the stores that sell them basically make no money off them. They make them off pre-owned games and stuff like that because there's so many people
Oh,
involved in making it. You know,
oh
so is
wait.
that
So like,
why like they're not reaching because it's based on profits, not on how popular they are per se. So like
it
even if they
doesn't say profits.
outperform
It
other
just
ones,
says market like the scale of the market
Market
in
share. I'm pretty
Yen.
sure it's in terms of revenue.
Ah, so it's not profits. It's just revenue.
No, I'm pretty sure it's revenue.
But like, yeah, that actually makes
um,
sense. I bet like the margins could actually be quite slim because like it's like, oh, but to make a game like you only need a few parts, like you don't need
whereas like
much. But
you
then like
can
you have
make
to
a
make the
very
game.
successful, very popular mobile game with very few people.
Well, you could make a very successful, very valuable game with very little people, but that's kind of the early era of mobile gaming. You can't make a very profitable mobile game anymore with a small team because the definition of very highly earning mobile games are generally all gacha games, and gacha games like they
Gotcha games, my
require
old
a
foe, my
they
nemesis.
they require a live service team, and that is not small. That is not easy.
Yeah, yeah.
I will strike them down.
Life is a gacha.
Back in the
I
day when
don't like
smartphone
it.
games, you just pay to install it and you just got addicted to it for a few weeks.
listen, listen, listen. I have lots of feelings about
Zena, are you a Candy
about
Crush mama?
No, I actually wasn't. I don't know. Like, I feel like like I have ADHD. I'm coming out with it, right? So like, I have ADHD.
Oh
I
no! You need
Oh no! What? This is
How
the
long have you
first I'm
got?
hearing of it. Well, if I have lots of smartphone like gacha games, not long. Listen, like it shortens my lifespan because like when
Can
I
I
like,
have your computer
oi, I'm not
and
dead
your
yet.
bike
Okay, my bike is good. Like good, like you have a
and
good
your
time.
apartment?
Oi, oi. um, but like like I don't know, gacha games like ADHD, they don't go together well. Like I don't mix well with things that have like ability to be addicting. So like I just leave my distance. So that's why I want to strike them down and remove them from the face of the planet and replace them with either free to play, or you pay for an entirely functional game. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm done. Thank you.
well
Gacha games. Watch your back.
smartphone games. Uh, well, smartphone games. Like if we talk about arcades, later on, well, and when smartphone games become big, that's kind of another reason why smartphone games start to die off because everyone has like a game. Everyone has an incredibly advanced computer in their pocket that they can play games with.
Right, and so that's why the portable games, like the DS and stuff, like that boom kind of ended a little bit, a lot.
Correct. Yeah, that's also one of the reasons. And it's also because like the companies themselves stopped producing like portable only devices.
Yeah,
Like
like PS Vita died, and then nothing replaced
PSV Vita
it. It was
died,
Yeah.
yeah.
and the Switch is not a pure portable game. Although in trains you do see some people playing Switch on the Switch. Like there are
Oh
lots more
yeah.
people just playing like mobile games.
Like I loved it when I saw like on that train there was like the old lady who looked like she was in her 60s or 70s, maybe probably 70s, and she was playing Animal Crossing on the train. I was like, oh, I want to be
Amazing.
her when I'm old.
So home consoles, mobile gaming, portable gaming, and of course smartphones, but we have to also talk about COVID. COVID has been
Oh
so
yeah,
like we're
COVID.
coming to like we're like accelerating the timeline. We're going from the 90s to the decline of arcade games all the way up to our current state. Um,
Right.
I guess before we talk about COVID, we should talk about like what it was like before COVID. Like COVID, even before COVID, arcades were already kind of reaching a very critical point in their kind of life cycle.
Mm.
They were already a lot of
The
them were already on
end
the brink.
ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was kind of like people were talking about how it's not really doing very well anymore, like even more than it used to be, and there were a lot of worries for like sustainability. Um, but and that was also when like we started to hear about Sega wanting to sell its big arcade business.
Yeah. When did news first come out about that? Or spoilers, by the way.
I have no idea. I really don't remember, but I do
It's been
believe
like a
it
couple of
was
years now. I swear it was
for a couple of
pre-COVID.
years. It was
Yeah.
pre-COVID, and then stuff happens along COVID. So when we come into now, like
Which we don't have numbers for.
we don't have evidence for now, unfortunately. But pre-COVID, you can still find arcades everywhere. Like most places, most cities in Japan, you're gonna be able to find an arcade pretty commonly.
Yeah. Like they're very present.
Very present, but not making as much money as they used to be. Not really kind of being as popular as they used to be as well. So, um, COVID is kind of like dealt this critical blow at this already bad time, and so
Yeah.
you have things kind of like very popular arcades. So if you can see the next slide,
Yes.
this is like the crowdfunding page from Mikado, a very famous retro arcade. Um,
So it's called
and the
Mikado.
Mikado, yeah, Mikado.
Right.
That is some big
And
moneys.
oh yeah, they're very very like famous overseas as well.
But so what is that? Like they've raised like 15 million yen. Is that like 156,000 US dollars equivalent ish?
Something like that, I think. Yeah,
Wow.
It's big moneys, but not that big moneys.
Yeah. It's like small business big money though. Like good for them.
yeah, small business make money, and I definitely I guess helpful enough for them to get them through the second period of COVID. But
What is Mikado?
Mikado is just this very famous. If you can see the next slide, it's
Oh yeah.
just this very famous
Hey, my
retro
people.
arcade. It's a space where people go to play old games, and it's very famous in the fighting game community for being a space where a lot of famous players, a lot of old timey players cut their teeth, and just a general gathering space for those kind of people.
For old
That's
people.
so nice. Hey,
Well,
hey.
yes. Well, yes.
Really?
Like
Hey,
even in the FGC now, like in the FGC now, the people who FGC is short for fighting game community. Even in the FGC now, like people who play in arcades are like the old guys.
The Osan.
hey
Yeah,
Zen, I'm gonna
they're the
send you a
old guys.
location later. Something
Yes.
cool I've just heard about.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you trying to send me to go play games with the Osan?
What do you mean with yours?
I am one of the Osans. That's it.
Yeah,
That's my secret.
it's
I've always
no,
been an
it's just
Osan.
with the lads.
With the
With the
lads.
lads.
Listen, like I have close friends who are in like fighting game circles, and like the energy is like nice, and like I'm in my 30s vibes, and I respect that very much.
Well, there's like
Yeah,
a young crowd that's got into fighting games as well, but like there
Ah.
is a clear old guard as a clear new group.
And like Aki, I remember like you were showing me the website for Mikado, I think a while back, and you were like, and I was like, oh, what's this do? And then it was like a link to a YouTube channel, and there's like 5 different ones, and
Yeah.
like you can like watch like a particular game like machine
Yeah.
live.
So
Is that
they take the output like the video output from these games and they stream some of them. So you can go to like specific cabinets and then those cabinets would be streamed and so whatever you play on them
Oh,
like
that
would turn
is so
out.
cool.
I think I've seen that somewhere.
They're not the only it's actually not only indie arcades that do this. Like certain Segas actually have these as well.
I like that. Like I want to get beaten up publicly on YouTube, like in Street Fighter.
Well, you want to beat people up.
well, that's not. I'm going to be realistic, and I'm going to say that's not what's going to happen. But like, it's just cool to be like, I'm on the internet. Like, guys, log on now.
I mean, that's fair, to be honest.
It's so cool.
But,
Like it'd be like, oh, and like you'd like tweet every, like, it's like, oh, look who's playing on blah blah blah. Like,
look close on stream. Yeah.
yeah. That'd be so. It's like the interaction of like the internet and a specific place and a specific machine and a specific, like, I really like that as like a.
It's like
thing,
going
you
to
know?
one of those going to standing in front of like a live street cam.
Yeah, and you wave it.
Yeah.
Stop getting ideas from Utica.
That's not just a Euro cam thing.
No.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's from Utica.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
we all love Utica in this household.
Oh, good old days.
Shiny
Um,
days.
Shiny days.
Enough of that. I'm going to have to go to karaoke.
We do need to go to karaoke. Unfortunately, we are all in different cities, so I'm currently crying because we can't do karaoke. Oh, we can't. The thing we can't do is actually
Karaoke.
but we can do
Anime.
and apparently at the moment it's free to read the Golden Kamui.
Manga.
Great.
Sorry, I just need to get I got my old friend Barack
Anime.
to like record some lines for me, so I was just gonna name drop
Hello,
him and put him in
Barack.
our podcast.
Bro.
Thank you for all the things we love from Japan.
Thank you. One of those things being the Kawasaki warehouse, and if you go
Nice
to the next
segue.
slide,
Wait, did you say
Yeah, I say
Kawasaki or
raise-
Nagasaki?
it was in Kawasaki.
Nice.
Oh, I've seen
I've
this
heard of this
place.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an arcade that's kind of themed based on the Kowloon Walled City.
I mean, I sort of love that place, but I understand entirely why it was demolished.
Oh yeah, definitely needed to go up.
I mean, but like
Oh wait, is
Cyberpunk
that
vibes.
one in Hong Kong? Is that the
Yeah.
one that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
in like a very like I won't tell you which anime I saw that in, but like,
Which anime did you see that in?
oh no, you're gonna find out how uncool I am. I
I know how
think it's-
uncool you are. Out with it.
So like there was a Kinnaichi Shonen no Chikenbo R. It's like I don't know. Maybe it was popular. I don't think it was popular. But
That's
I
so
watched
uncool. I've never
some
heard
of
of it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll explain it to you another day when we talk about the mystery genre. Like,
What's
of
that other one
Japanese
that you said you'd seen that you were super ashamed about? The one about like.
No. Anyway, continuing right along. Good thing I have editing privileges.
Or just spam the name. Where is it?
No. Anyway, Aki, tell us about this place.
It closed down.
What? It's gone. It's
It's
gone.
gone.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's so tragic.
Hold on. How do you pronounce? Is
it
it?
is pretty tragic.
Rin is like shaming me in front of the entire internet, and I will not
Yeah,
stand
like
this.
that was one of the worst. What do you call it?
So
Plot descriptions I've ever read.
yeah, no, listen, like when I was 14, I was just like, oh, I've never watched an anime that's like that before. I'm sure it must be good. And no, it was not for me. I was not the target audience of that anime. I figured that out about 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Listen,
is how
we
it
all
is.
watched some weird stuff when we were 14. But
Me too.
we
Don't
don't know
think-
Aki's Kurorekishi.
I'm pretty sure it won't be that bad.
Oh, yeah, true. Anyway, so like, why did this place close down? Like, it has like serious vibes. Like, I want to go there. I wanted to go there, in fact.
I believe it was either their lease ran out and then they couldn't
Renew it? Like, did the owner want
No.
to sell or something?
So they had some issues with the building's landlord.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I probably had to do with rent or something, and they couldn't
Oh.
couldn't come to an agreement, so they had to close down.
It's a wee
that's
bit
really
shit.
This was in
sad.
2019 actually, so it's pre-COVID.
Oh no, pre-COVID.
Yeah. So it's one of the as you can this is one of the examples of arcades already being on a downswing, because this is like an incredibly famous, gets a lot of tourists going kind of arcade.
Yeah, because like the fact that like not like Aki, it's not only you that knows about this. Like I knew about it, and even Rin, who's like not barely even gone to arcades, like knew about this place.
Yeah, but I like cyberpunk
absurdly
vibes,
early.
so of course I knew this.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, this connects with one of your other interests. Okay, well that's fine. But yeah, it's a huge shame to lose that, and I guess it is kind of emblematic of the times. Like,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
That's how it is. So
Truly is zannen. Shikataga nai.
Such is life.
I guess then now we come to present day.
Present
And
day.
What is present
Yay.
day like?
What have you got for us,
Well,
Aki?
I've the next
I
slide.
mean, as a present.
Well, Aki's present is the next slide.
Yeah,
it's
my
present
next
day.
slide. So on the left is Sega Ikebukuro.
Hey, I've been to Ikebukuro.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
them
kinda shit.
celebrating their 28th anniversary.
Wow, oh yeah, it does say that. 28年間ありがとうございました.
And then they closed down.
What? No! Oh, it didn't make it to 30.
Building went to renewal. They closed that big, very iconic old Ikebukuro Sega, which is also a really like hype spot for fighting games.
Oh, close
That
down.
closes down, and on the right is the new Sega that's built right opposite it. Right opposite. As you can see, it's way smaller.
I can tell you which one I want to go to, and it's not the one on the right, it's the one on the left.
Unfortunately, you can't go to the one on the left anymore.
Oh god, that's sad. Oh.
Um,
Wait,
actually-
did you ever get to go to that one, Aki? Did you go to
I
the
never
other
went to the Ikebukuro one. No.
one? Oh no.
It's like everything in Ikebukuro that was good, because there's not that much that's actually good there, is slowly disappearing.
Not really much.
Oh.
But so this is the one on the right is the new one, and then actually in the renewed building, which is just a regular shop hall now, in the basement of that, there's like a second Sega there as well.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
But it's
So
like, yeah.
so it's interesting, like anecdotally, like there's this place in Kichijoji that used to be a Sega,
Mm.
and it closed down, but then it was replaced by a Taito.
Taito, yeah. And for those who don't know, Taito is like one of the other big like game.
It's the other big chain, yeah,
Yeah, it's
chain, yeah.
enormous.
game center. So arcades are still appearing, but they're downscaling in a sense.
I guess they'd be like focusing on the games that will get them the most revenue for the like the floor space.
For example, which is good. I glad how you bring that up. Like if we can look at the next slide.
Oh yes, of course.
This is the
Ah,
very iconic,
I know where this is.
incredibly. This is in Akihabara, and you cannot see this anymore. So that Kankore is that Kankore poster still there? I believe that Kankore poster is gone now. Wait,
Yeah, I haven't seen that Kankore
I
poster.
I
Yeah, the
believe we were
Kankore
all there when you
poster-
took that photo.
and then the Nigokan is no longer there. So that the outdoor exposed escalator, those escalators do not have the Sega like branding on it anymore. And
They're
so
not even orange anymore.
They are not even orange.
It's
So
tragic.
It is. It's like when you go to Akihabara, it's just fundamentally different now.
It's the end of an era.
It is definitely the end of there.
The Steins Gate Akiba that we knew and loved is gone.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
to be in the
Banjo
Steins Gate
Kaikan
Akiba.
has like changed a lot since like Steins Gate.
Listen,
Era
like
anyways.
I went to Akiba in freaking 2011, and Steins Gate Akiba is the Akiba of my heart. So
Very fair. And there has been though, like Nigokan closes down, but there's another new Sega, and that one is just crane machines.
That's shit.
only grain machines.
Yep, it's just crane machines.
But Aki, like, imagine me like shaking Aki gently by the shoulders. Where's my Taiko no Tatsujin machine?
And the other ones, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the future. I guess they're all turning to just crane game and rhythm game shops now.
Wait, isn't the one we went to? Do you remember we walked through one in Tsukuba sometime?
Yeah.
Wasn't that
yeah.
one just like
in
crane
Tsukuba
games now?
Center. Yeah. No. It wasn't just. It was like I'd say like 70% crane games, like by floor.
I
space,
thought it
and
had
then,
like two
30%.
Taiko no Tatsujin, and the rest was literally just crane games.
Oh, actually, you might be right. Yeah, like the Tsukuba Center arcade game, like arcade game sen is like. I'm gonna be real with you. It's like not hugely inspiring. Like it's just like crane games, claw machines, and then just yeah. But it does have taiko, so like it does get the Zen stamp of approval.
Yeah, but they're
Several
like out
appeal.
the front, kind of. So it's only for those people who are ballsy or cocky enough to play out the front of the store.
Oh, that's me, so it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
me.
are you good enough to do that though?
No, but that's really
Pathetic.
funny. I'm too old to care about this stuff. It's great.
Well, that's
play
not a bad
play the
thing.
taiko no tatsujin.
Just do it.
Do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Just do it.
Do it.
Just don't.
Just don't. So coming back to what we were talking about, previously, where Sega is looking to sell its arcade, not arcade machine, but arcade our game center division. Well, they do, and
They want to
so
like get their money out of game centers, I guess.
well, they don't want to run game centers. They still make machines. They just don't want to run the game centers anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
So
interesting.
go to the next
it's
slide.
It's like I want to make money, but I don't want to make money by doing the hard thing. I just want to sell them the thing that makes them not make money. Okay.
Yeah. So if you go to the next picture slide,
Yes.
it's a picture I took. As you can tell, it's pretty recent. There's Ye Miko on. Is that even how to pronounce her name? I've not actually heard anyone pronounce her name. There's that new Genshin girl on the
Genshin girl.
poster. Oh my god, the fact that I don't know that, and like if this podcast was any more popular than it actually was currently, I'd be like actually dying of embarrassment, not the fact that I don't know how to say her name.
Be eviscerated for not knowing a character's name.
I know her name, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's it is Yaimiko. Sorry, Yaimiko.
Yeah, you're
Um,
good. You're good.
I pronounced it right. Yaimiko. That she's there, so you can tell how recent this is. And so the next of it is that same Sega Sangokan that you saw all the way at the start.
Oh, that's it. Wait, no, Aki, no, I don't think. I think you've taken the wrong photo because that one doesn't say Sega. It says Gigo.
Yep, because
Going
they're now
out.
all Gigos.
But where'd my Sega go?
They sold it.
Yeah, weren't
They
you
sold-
listening?
They sold it to Gigo.
Oh,
The fuck is a Gigo?
yeah. What's a Gigo? Like I've
It stands for something. I forgot. But it's just
games
some other like
in, games out. I don't know.
I have no freaking idea. But like it's just some other like entertainment
I'll look it up.
company.
I
Amusement
bet you it's
company.
games in, games out. If it's not, I'm gonna be so
yeah,
salty.
right.
Gigo guessing. Sorry, I type really slow. All right, Gigo guessing.
But yeah, it's while he's doing that, like this is that same Gigo Sangokan, Sega Sangokan that has sent to Gigo. And so that's another big thing that's changed about Akihabara. Like adding on to the many things that have changed about Akihabara during the season.
Indeed.
Right. This is one of them, and so now you walk past all the Gigos, and
But the color scheme doesn't even work. It's weird.
it's weird. Yeah, I kind of find it kind of weird.
What about the machines on the inside though?
All the same.
It stands for garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
No, just kidding. No, that's not. I can't find what it stands for.
Well, that was useless.
Hey, listen, I'm slow at reading things. It's
That
all
is
about
okay.
Sega.
That is okay.
Well, we'll put it in the comments.
Sega's is still making the prize machines, still making the crane games. That has gone away. But they just don't run the game centers anymore.
Yeah, that's a shame. But I'm glad, Aki, that you're watching over the game centers. Like, I love that there's a building that's called Aki next door. So
The tax shop.
tax-free shop. It's your store, Aki.
I
The-
love the tax-free shop.
like it's like I don't know. It does feel like the end of an era, just having all of this rebranding happening right in the middle of Akiba.
It
It's just
does.
it feels strange.
We need
It
to
feels
talk
like-
about Akiba sometime as well, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, we will believe. Oh, yeah. No, believe it. We're going to be
Has
talking about
changed.
Akiba. Oh, yeah. There's a lot to say about Akiba. What a beautiful place. Truly the center of humanity.
Truly. To the center of big Genshin pop-ups.
It's a center of something, yeah, something like that. Maybe not of all humanity, but of large anime girls, it truly is the middle of the world.
It is. But thank you for following our weird history of and current state of arcades in Japan. Now we're just gonna get into a part where we talk about what's actually popular in arcades now,
Yay! Woo!
and
I'm so
we can
hyped.
get to the next slide.
Oh, we got some pictures here.
Yeah, this is why we take like a 5 minute break too, because I'm tired of talking.
Oh yeah, good idea. Do you want me to just like talk about Purikura for a while?
Or we could just take a 5 minute.
Oh yeah, I forgot we can do that because we have the magic of editing. I'm gonna go get it actually. Break.
Break.
Hydration is important to
Break.
look after your voice.
Have a
Be
break.
right back.
Break.
Take a break. I'm off. And we're back. Aki, so in front of us, we have a variety of very colorful and fun looking machines that probably make very enticing beep boop noises, and they want us to play them. What are we looking at? I
I mean, we
recognize.
can start from the left. Like we've been talking about them, but like they're crane machines. And like crane machines are a subcategory of prize machines. So like they are like these machines where you put in money and you do some kind of task and you play some kind of game and you get something from it. So it's not just crane machines. Sometimes it's like you're trying to get a maybe. I'm trying to think of examples of other ones. Like they're the ones where you drop like sweets to this like pushing
Oh yeah,
thing.
the circular ones. Oh my god, those
Yeah,
ones.
like these big
I've spent some
circular
money on those,
machines where like they push stuff off by putting more things onto like this like surface in which that is being pushed by like this weird like piston thing.
Yes, it's basically like a
Um,
timing thing, and it's like 50% skill and
yeah,
50% luck. It like
yeah,
all of them are. All of them are. Like every
yeah.
single
It's
one
like
is. Like
it's kind of
if someone
weird.
says like, "Oh, I'm really good at like crane games," it's like, well, maybe you're good at the 50% that you can control, but like the other 50% you have no control over. And it's basically
Not really. But crane games are more about the tension. It's more about the tension that the store has set it to. So like,
yes, and that's the
if the
50%
store,
you don't have control over.
well, you do. You can just not play there. You just go to another store.
I see. That's a meta strategy. That's okay. All right.
The strategy is that you go to stores that have like, no, legitimately like,
Yeah. Favorable
you
like settings. Yeah.
you go to those stores. So you never play in like the big touristy ones because they all suck.
Now, the type of like prize machines that always like boggle my brain are the ones where like you don't have a like a UFO catcher. Like it's like there's like a box. Let's say it has something like a Hatsune Miku, a Hatsune Miku figurine in it. Sorry, I need someone with better pronunciation than me. Here we go. Here we go.
Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, it has a figure of that Vocaloid in it, and like it's like hung off like wires, and you have to try and like push it off. And I never have understood how those things work. Like it's like how do you push it off and get the
Hatsune Miku.
figurine?
There's just lots of different. There are lots of different variations on the crane machine, and yeah, one of them is those ones where you have to push it off instead, and there's like different techniques to them. Like you genuinely can get pretty good at them.
Wow. All right, there is some skill.
There is some skill. There is definitely.
I mean,
a
some
good
people
amount
do
of
have skill.
Yeah, I'm learning this. Yeah.
How many of us have actually gotten anything from these?
Oh, I have got many things from crane games, both in Japan and Australia. Listen, like
What makes you stop at a crane game?
either I run out of money. Mostly either I run
No,
out of money.
What makes you like want to play? What makes you start playing?
Like so you're walking into the game, or like you're walking past the game center, and you're like, oh, it's a game center. I should go to one of those. I'm with my friends. It's fun. Let's go play some Taiko no Tatsujin. Blah blah. So go in, but to get to the Taiko no Tatsujin, you need to walk past the crane games. And so like I walk past them, and then I see, oh, it's my boy.
Hatsune Miku.
Shinamororu. No, I don't play for the Miku stuff because it's all figurines, and I'm not really into figurines. I'm into the stuff like the soft toys. I'm into the like stuffed animals, like you can see on the left. Like, I would love one of their Squirtles. Like they're very cute. I want a sleeping Squirtle. But yeah, like you look and you see a cute character that you want, and then you're like, oh, I'll try. And then the next thing is you look at where the toys are, like if they're in easy to get locations, and if they have the ones that you want. Sometimes they have like multiple on the wall, but only one is actually in play. Like there's only one available to get, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want that one anyway, and keep walking towards Taiko Tatsujin.
Mhm.
What about you, Aki?
If I'm with a friend, like a group of friends, and like I sometimes just stop and like we would just like as entertainment, just like try and get some random like sweet or some random cute stuff toy. But like um I used to collect like Love Life Nesobitties.
Oh,
Ooh.
are they the soft ones? Are they the pillows?
They're like the ones where like it's like a figure. It's nestles like like they're
Lying down?
yeah, lying down. Uh, so I mean, I guess in the Eagle camp, like, well, actually, not just Eagle camp, but like in general, they just got Nesoberi, Nesoberi doll, Ningyo. So like, I used to collect a bunch of them, and so I would go to like the crane machine specifically for these, and then I would buy them. I would play for them, and I actually got
You would buy
pretty.
them. It does feel like you're buying them because after a while they do just give you the thing.
No, as in like I got good enough that like I could couldn't consistently within like a reasonable amount of money.
Wow. And what would you call like a reasonable amount of money to get like one Nesoberi?
Sounds it.
Yeah, honestly, for me, like that, like sometimes
Sanzin
I
is
would go
high.
like
I'm joking.
I would be like 2000. Like sometimes that's how
1800
much.
is like the
1800.
average I reached.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
at that point you may as well have just bought it like on like a
it's around the
merchandise
same
website.
amount of you would pay to buy it at a secondhand place.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I guess that means that it probably means that I'm not as good as could be because the people who sell those tend to be actually really good at it.
Oh wait! People, wait! I'm sorry. People go to Gamer Center, they win things, and then they sell them as like a thing.
Yeah,
Is this a weird job that exists?
it's not a job. I think there are some people who like.
Is this a side hustle?
Yeah, I guess it's a side hustle. People who are good at this crane games, like they just go and play the crane games, they sell them.
Oh my god, it's just blown my mind. I love
Like
that that exists.
in Radio Kaikan, like in Radio Kaikan, the
Yeah,
second floor where with all the goods, those are all secondhand goods, you know, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
But
that's
like, I
where
thought it's just like people bought them, and then like they're like, oh, I don't need this figurine anymore. I'm gonna sell it.
no, but most of the like a lot of the figurines, a lot of the plushies are all crane game exclusive.
No way! I didn't even
What?
realize that was the thing. Crane Game exclusives.
A lot of them are.
Oh my gosh, we're really getting into the meat of it now. The Crane Game secret, like ecosystem, is like okuga fukai. It's a
Damn.
lot to it.
I think I've
Yeah,
only
so
ever
there
played a crane
are
game once in Japan.
really.
That's probably for the best. Like you've
It
spent
was,
the money on coffee instead.
yeah, it's like I got really tempted by a Shinobu figurine.
Ah,
And I'm not into
yes.
figurines, but I was like, holy shit, I want that.
Wait,
And it was like,
Shinobu
what?
from Chihayafuru.
No.
What?
Oh.
Which
From
Shinobu?
Monogatari.
Oh, sorry.
キスショット
sorry.
する俺ハートアンダーブレード
Very nice.
So you're tempted by this Monogatari one, but like, did you try it?
I tried it like a few times, and then I was just like, and this dude was just eyeing me off. I was just like, I'm not going to get this within a reasonable amount of times. And so I just stopped after like very minimal tries. And I was just like
And like
that's not
the
happening
next day
today.
wanted to have a go.
Yeah, and also he wasn't very good. He put like at least
I thought
Nissan,
you were
like
gonna say like
Sanzane.
I thought you were gonna say like he turned up and he got it in one go.
No. He just put a shit ton of money into it and then just gave up and left after a while. I was like, oh, there you
Oh,
go.
really? That's so sad.
tragic. Oh, he didn't get the gaijin treatment that I got.
It was easily worth like some I am. It was like a good one.
Oh, all right. Wow.
I don't know. Crane games are fun in that sense. So that's my history with them is not super. Like I've not collected. I'm not that much of a merch collector. So
I've noticed. Like for context, Aki's like room like interior decor is like worthy of being called decor. Like it's like actually cool and like somewhat minimalist and quite minimalist and like very nice. So whereas other people's rooms you go in and it's full of merch, so it's like
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
it's an aesthetic.
it is an aesthetic, and like I don't know, I find it hard to restrain myself, and then I end up just like giving away my my like large toys to like the op shop,
Oh,
and they're like, I'm like, here's a giant Pikachu. Like,
If you really love
thanks.
them, you wouldn't give them away though.
No, don't say that. No,
oh.
my babies. I still love them.
No, you don't.
Not when they're hands of somebody
teasing
else.
me. No, he's teasing me.
If you could, you'd give them to the orphanage, wouldn't you?
No, I still love them. All right. Well, as I cry, we should talk about the Star Wars thing.
No.
No.
I don't have any Star Wars drops. Gosh darn it.
No, to be honest, I hate Star Wars, so I'll sit this one out.
Okay. Wow, that's a strong statement from Rin there.
Yeah, there you go. I've got plenty more.
It is definitely like it's there to represent kind of the more novelty games.
Like tie-ins with movies and video
Kinds of
games.
movies and just these huge, big machines that are very eye-catching, and these are the ones that tend to be 200 to play.
And like two people can sit and do it at the same time.
I'm
Often?
not sure. No, usually not. Usually they don't usually make two people ones anymore. Maybe the Star Wars one is. I'm not very sure. But you get like the horror ones where two people can sit inside.
Yes, yeah. And then like they move the chair in scary ways and like
yeah,
like
and they're trying to
sounds from
shoot.
behind you.
Yeah. That's a thing still with more than one, for more than one person. But that's kind of like one of the, like, if we what I like with this slide, I was like trying to think of like what brings in like regular people, like people who aren't specifically interested in arcade games and arcade culture, like what brings them in, like playing
Like just the
games.
normies. Like why are they
Yeah, why are the normies here? And so like, well,
why is Rin here?
why is Rin here?
Not for Star Wars.
Not for Star Wars. Are you here for Purikura?
I doubt it.
Ah.
Have you seen the Mythbusters episode where they polish a turd?
I don't know how that connects.
That's terrible.
Wait, no, be nice to yourself. Your face is lovely. You should
Thank you.
go Purikura and they'll add some they'll make it even more
Sparkles.
lovely with sparkles.
I mean,
eyeliner,
I
lip
know it's
gloss.
interesting how you like Purikura.
Me? Yeah, I love them.
I know Purikura has this, like, I thought you would be a bit more like about it because it has this, it's very like do you like Instagram filters?
I like, okay, so like Instagram, it feels different to me. So like with Purikura, so what you do is you go in there, my experience at least was like 2010, 2011, you go in there with your friends, like maybe like one or two other people who like you're close with. You take like say like you've gone out to karaoke or something for the day, like it's Saturday, you've had a nice day, and then you on the way home you stop by a gesang and you go to Purikura together, and like you end up with these cute little photos which like the machine prints out for you, and you can like cut them up. Yeah, and cutting them up is like a whole thing. It's like, oh, which pictures do you want? And then they're like, oh, I want this one. And like, oh, I like this one. So everyone gets like a different set of pictures, and like, and then you can peel them off, and they're actually stickers. So that people like the high school girls who I was like going to high school with, like they would all like stick them all over like their like notebooks, or like stick them on their like garake old style like not smartphones but like phones, and like I don't know, it's like kinen satsu. It's like taking a photo. It's like, yeah, oh, remember that nice day that we had out, and it's kind of like I like a friendship thing, but like whereas Instagram feels more like it's like, this is my brand. I'm giving it to the whole world. I'm showing everyone. Whereas Purikura feels more like a private experience. Although I know that Purikura like in 2010 you could even do this actually. Like you could like type in your email address and it would send you the pictures at the end.
Yeah.
Although what frustrated me to no end was like they only let you use a Japanese mobile phone email address, so like no Gmail addresses were accepted like in 2010 and 11, and I believe still like lots of them you can't like email them to yourselves.
I think now like they use QR codes and stuff. You download the app.
Now technology has progressed. That's very good to hear. But yeah, I don't know, like if the vibes are different, like you are putting filters on yourself, but it's like for you and your friends to look at instead of like for like the world to look at, I guess. Although I don't know, I'm not good at Instagram, so
For me, it's the fact that like the filters are all a very particular filter, so they make the skin way whiter
True. This is true. Yeah, it
and
is
like
like hashtag problematic in that way because it's like
it's pretty problematic in that way.
yeah, it's like a very narrow view of what beauty is.
Yeah, now
But
they
like
have like the
often they
Korean
have
themed ones.
Korean themed one. Oh, of course, because
Yeah,
like
they just
like
make it look more
Korean
Korean.
culture boom.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah, because
funny.
they just make it look more Korean.
That's
It's
so
like a
good.
thing. It's like like you have the K-pop ones now. Yeah,
Korean filter. Oh no. But
yeah.
I'm often so for example, like my experience was like you go into the gas stand and there's like a whole bunch of pretty colour machines. Like you have
Oh
your
yeah,
choice of which one you want to go to.
yeah. You
And
do.
some
You
of them
do.
were like the full on gyaru like filter where it's like you become a very specific aesthetic. And
Oh
other ones
yeah,
are just
remember
like
the Garo ones? Yeah.
yeah, like I think pretty cool in the 2000s it was a ghetto thing. Like it was because it was like
Yes, it
2004.
definitely was
Yeah.
a Garo thing.
But then it like became like a normal like everyone's doing it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I and like you could choose. So like I remember like there was this one was like Snow White themed or like fairy tale themed or something, and you go in and like you can choose particular stickers and stuff.
Mhm.
Like you can kind of choose which like aesthetic you wanted to go to based on which like machine you go to, and you can also choose how like full on you want the filter to be. So I don't know. I feel
Right.
like you didn't necessarily have to like change your appearance. Like you
Right,
didn't
fair.
have to look, but like
That's
often
fair.
people did. You know, often you
Mhm.
just put on the make my skin look whiter filter to
Mhm.
100 and yeah, hashtag problematic, but I have very good memories of Pretty Good. So
That's fair.
I don't know. I had fun.
Nothing is pure in our world. It's okay.
This is true. This is true.
But like particular are still like a very normal thing. Like it's interesting, right? Like even in our world of like instant like photo sharing and stuff like that, like people still do pre-Koda. It's like a pretty normal thing here.
They do, but the number has decreased significantly.
Oh yeah, number has
Like,
definitely decreased. Yeah.
Like it used to be like there would be like 6 or 7 in every like department store that I went to, but now it's
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like,
Now
what's
it's like
it,
you have to go to
3?
like you have to find them. You have to seek them out now.
Yes.
Yeah, because not even all the arcades will have it.
Yeah. Most arcades that I go to nowadays, they don't even have Pretty Good anymore. So it's like
A
I
lot
don't
of
know.
them,
I'm a bit
though.
sad.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, Rin, we'll next time I'm in Fukuoka, we'll go find one. We can and then we'll drag Aki and we can take a ski shot. It'll be nice.
I mean, if we're allowed in.
I will talk our way in.
I mean, like, I don't know what are these rules again?
It's fine. Rules. Listen, I can't read Japanese. It's fine. Just pull the gaijin card.
Fine. Just,
Sumimasen?
Sumimasen. Watashi nihongo amari jouzu ja. Shashin torimasu?
even if you go with me, you'll be perfectly fine though.
Yeah, true.
This is true.
I heard a good one from the engineering lads the other day. They're all like, sumimasen, watashi nihongo tabemasen.
Yeah, the Nihongo Tabemasen thing is it's a great. I love that.
Is that a
I
thing?
do that joke in Chinese now, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
我不会
sounds
吃
like
华人，
不会吃什么？
我不会吃华人，华人。
华人? You can't eat Chinese people?
华文文
Oh, 华文. Oh, okay. Sorry. Listen. Thank you for being patient.
I can't eat
okay.
Chinese.
I was gonna say 华人. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's probably good that you
华
can't
人
eat that.
speaking person.
Amazing. Yeah. So anyway, that's my pretty good rant. Thank you for accompanying me trip down memory lane to a world that no longer exists. What's the top right one?
Top right is the Gundam machine.
Gundam
Oh.
machine.
It fits into that same world of like big novelty machines, but I don't know. I have like a personal story with like it's not this, but like it was like this other machine, which is like I forgot what it's called. What is it called?
Story time. Okay, so it's not Gundam. But it like looks like this. Is it like? Do you have a controller? How does it
It's
work?
called Hoshito Tsubasa no Paradox. Hoshito Tsubasa no. And it's
Yeah,
like
look at that.
this.
I wanna see what it looks
It's this really insane like mech piloting game.
Ooh.
Like, it was this really cool moment for me that I saw it online and then I came here I came to Japan right when the game came out and I was
Oh, that looks sick.
It's super sick. They still have
Oh
them.
my
They're not
god.
they're not in as many places anymore, so I'm quite glad I got to play it when it was like at its release and its prime.
Oh my god, I love the aesthetic of the characters. It's like knockoff Evangelion aesthetic. I love it.
Oh yeah, and then like the way that like the seat moves is amazing. Like it feels really good.
Whoa.
Yeah, and yeah, those fun times.
Are the Gundam ones any good?
I've not tried them myself. And like talking about other big tie-ins, there's like the JoJo game. It's a battle
What?
royale. There's a
What?
JoJo battle royale arcade game.
What?
Wait.
I want to play that.
Yeah, it kind of takes it takes its from like Gunslinger Stratos. We're going to like weird arcade game history here. So Gunslinger Stratos is like it combines kind of like light gun gaming with joystick controls. So like Gunslinger Stratos, so you can control the characters, the camera. It's a 3D environment. You can run around, but like you use the gun to aim.
Wow. I'm trying to even imagine what the controller would look like for that. That sounds
The
wild.
controller, like there is like a thumbstick on the gun itself.
What?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. I
yeah.
like
So like
that.
there are thumbsticks on the gun, so like you're using the thumbsticks to run around, and like it's not. I'm not really sure if it's like always full 3D movement. I think there's like a lock-on system that allows you to like lock on and to move towards things.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it sounds like it could be a little bit janky, but if they have a lock-on system, like I think that would be fun.
Yeah, it's but it's full. It has full 3D traversal, so it's quite interesting in that regard. So Guns N' Roses was kind of like was that big one that started that, and then there's a lot of other games that have kind of that sort of similar kind of style of these like 3D environment action games that you can play in the arcades. So JoJo is kind
Oh.
of like the latest big one in kind of that cycle.
I want to play JoJo game.
I just want to be in JoJo. And
You just wanna
I
be a
don't
JoJo.
mean that in a sexual way. I mean like
How many JoJos do you want to be, Rin?
I don't know. I mean Giorno had a pretty good arc.
You want to be Jono,
Yeah, Giorno.
and also Jonathan, the best JoJo. Continuing on.
He's easily the worst JoJo, and you're the
Don't
only
you
one who
diss
thinks
my
otherwise.
child.
He's
I
the
love
worst
him
I was
so much.
JoJo.
I was
Come
waiting
on.
for someone to bring that up. I
No,
was like,
no,
when
no
is he
one
gonna bring
likes.
it up? When is
I
he gonna
like
bring it up?
Oh,
Jonathan.
for fuck's sake! He's like
Oh
by
my
far the worst. Make your way further into the story, and maybe you'll know.
Okay, well maybe I'll watch further past like Joseph, and then I'll know the other ones. I'm gonna get
Joseph
roasted
is
in the
still
comments for
Joseph
not
is still
finishing this.
multiple times better than Jonathan.
I love my baby Jonathan though. He's listen. I like everything Victorian, so I'm just biased, and also he's sweet. Okay, moving right along.
Go freaking.
all right, Rin.
I mean,
I'll
there's the
finish it
JoJo
and then I'll
game.
report back. Yes.
There's the JoJo game. And on the bottom right, we have the other genre,
Oh,
which
we've
is pretty
seen
big.
this. We've
Yeah,
seen
this
this.
is the so. This is an amazing synthesis of mobile gaming, gacha gaming, arcades, all in one. You know it, you love it. It's the Fate Grand Order arcade game.
So it's like a card game that's also a mobile game and like also an
Okay.
arcade game.
So here's the down low. FGO is a mobile gacha game, right? It's a
Yes.
turn-based RPG. It's a visual novel / turn-based RPG.
Yeah, I think I have friends who play that.
Yeah, you probably
Pretty
have.
sure you would.
And FGO Arcade, it's kind of like the JoJo game where it's like it's a 3D environment, but like it's more like if you've played Honkai Impact or you play any kind of like mobile game where like it drops you into a like it's like a 3D battler. You just have to kill like a set amount of enemies before like the round ends, and then at the end of the round you get like XP and stuff like that. And like kind of the appeal of this and why you even go to arcade to play this is because the arcade machine will print out the cards.
They'll print it out for you. It's like a pretty kuda, but for an arcade game.
For an arcade, well, sure, you can think about it like that, but it's like because in FGO you gacha for JPEGs, right? They're just JPEGs.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
In FGO arcade, you gacha for printed JPEGs.
What?
like I see the allure of that because you get to take it home and like
You do.
put it in.
But
like,
what's the
put it on your
resolution like?
wall.
I think it's decent. They sell them in like secondhand stores nowadays,
Oh, so okay, it must be pretty decent.
and it works in the game.
It works in the game.
So like you have to put in like you have to bring the cards with you, and you have to put them into the machine to scan them to use in game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's like there are quite a few of these card collecting games where you have to like. There's even some where you place the cards on the screen physically, and then like it
Imagine a
places the
Yu-Gi-Oh game
units in
like
the
that.
game.
What?
That'd be sick.
Oh yeah, imagine. Yeah,
Maybe
that
I
would be
should
quite
pick this
sick.
shit up.
It's pretty cool. So there's some like strategy RPGs, where you place like there's like a board and a screen, and you place them, and then the screen, there's like two screens. There's like one with where you place the cards on, and there's like a screen on like in front of you, and then like the unit will appear when you place the card down.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a whole bunch of them, and like they're super money sucking because obviously you need all the cards.
Wait,
But
so if I'm willing to give away like my life and a shit ton of money, you're saying I can get a relatively decent poster of Scarhawk
I would
for my wall?
imagine for you. No, it's not for your wall. It's like these small cards.
I still,
it's small.
I'm just gonna, if you put 100 down, you'll still get enough to cover a wall.
Just like 100 small
Oh.
cards of the same character.
I mean,
Is that what you're
you could
planning?
try.
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's
The
doable.
crazy collector Ren has come out.
Doable.
I'm just gonna turn
Yes.
up to your house in Fukuoka, Rin, next time I visit, and you're just gonna have like a whole bunch of like just random fate characters strewn across the wall, and you'll be like, "So what do you think?"
Go find like a local arcade. Maybe you find one of these. Good luck.
It'll be like, why are they all like random like B tier characters?
Because you couldn't get anything good.
Oh, it's okay. I'm bad at games too.
I mean, it's gacha,
Yeah.
so
Oh no! Of course, it's got. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, never
it's
mind.
gacha.
It's all just luck of the draw. It will eat my
It
money if I start, so I will never
is.
start.
Money. Eat
Ah.
all your money.
No, I need that to
Okay.
eat.
Are y'all okay?
No.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm on student budget. I've been eating brown rice for a long time now.
No,
I'm waiting
that's-
for
Have you?
my next thing.
That's not
Have you
student
been
budget.
eating
That's just bad taste.
Ponzu and rice. Ponzu and rice.
I don't even have ponzu. I have like a sad thing of tomato sauce. I have some kosho, and I have like rayu, and that's it. And brown rice.
You're trying to convert Zen to the Kogawi pre-famous diet.
I
Oh
am.
no. Oh, what's
Like,
the
she
what's
always-
the diet?
It's rice and ponzu.
Right.
She graduated
yeah,
from
you told me
Seiyu
about
school
that.
and had no jobs, so like she's literally living off of rice and ponzu.
That kills the girl. Except it does have vitamin C, I guess.
It does.
I mean, kind of.
It's a really good story, and
Yeah, it's a pretty good video, yeah.
Oh, I should watch that. Anyway, okay, so fake granddaughter, don't do it even once because you're going to be eating rice and ponzu.
But
Gotcha.
Scarhawk,
yes.
Gotcha.
And on the left we have racing games.
Oh yeah, racing games. We skipped them. Yeah, I have good memories of these.
It's like pretty classic. I mean, like in terms of why do you go to an arcade game in 2022? Because there is an experience that you can't get at home, right? So that's why these big novelty machines are so
Popular
popular. Yeah, and that's why screen machines are still popular because you can get the item. Pericolas still popular because you can get it printed. And you know, one of the classic machines that represents that is the racing machine.
Mm.
When I was a kid, I was playing Midnight Wangan 3DX Plus. Now they're at 6.
60. Wow, they've doubled the DXs since then.
They have double DXs. Now it's Midnight Wangan 6R. 6R now, I think.
Wow. Ooh. Is that returns or
I don't know. It's just
I'm using my Kindaichi knowledge. For
like
this.
the picture of the like I put on the slide is the picture of 6R if I'm not wrong.
Ah.
The technology has changed. Wait, sorry, can we go back to FG arcade? Oh my god.
Yes, go for it.
Like so if you think arcade, you think joysticks, right? One of the classic motifs of like arcade culture is the joystick.
Yeah, like in Beda House, like you're sitting there and you're just wiggling a joystick for hours. Yeah.
Right. I think Invader House is a knob, sorry. Yeah, because it's a but joystick, like you think like fighting games, you think joystick, right? You think like shoot 'em ups using joysticks, Frogger, stuff like that, joysticks. But like if you look at FGO game, which is a very very recent game, even this the same thing goes for like the JoJo game. Like instead of just the joystick, like anyone would have been familiar with, instead they have this weird controller thing. So like if you go search it out, like for you guys watching at home, you can just go search like FGO Arcade and like search a video of it or something, and you can see that the controller isn't a joystick, but it's like this flight stick like thing that you hold, but the actual way you control the character is with a thumbstick, like on the PS4 controller or an Xbox controller.
Really? Whoa, that is wild.
It's wild because it's kind of emblematic of this new world, of this new paradigm, or like just how we've progressed, and that people are more familiar with the home console variant of control schemes, that even arcade games are getting these
More complex.
well, not more complex, but like they are. It used to be like the thumbstick is a shrunken version of the joystick,
Yeah.
and so now the home space of the joystick, in the home space of joysticks, like instead of a joystick, thumbsticks are becoming more common,
Yeah. Like
which
the
is
Switch.
like super weird. Yeah, but that's just how it is.
Although it does leave your fingers and stuff free to like use buttons
Yeah,
and stuff at the same time.
yeah, it does leave your fingers to use buttons, and that's one of the things. But that's kind of an interesting like transition that I noticed recently, that like joysticks are just not so common anymore.
Wait, did y'all ever play Xbox or PlayStation, or were you just PC?
I
Oh, well,
was
I played PlayStation at my friend's house.
My first
Yeah,
video game console was an Xbox.
So did you get into Xbox, or did you not really use it?
I was 4.
4. I guess my brother got the Nintendo 64, and I was probably around that age too.
I don't. So did you grow up on Halo like you?
I grew up on Halo, yes. Halo was
Okay,
the
same.
first video game I ever played.
Oi, same as me.
Wow. Oh.
Amazing.
No, but like because I was always used to like I sort of get where this whole idea is coming from because I was always used to Xbox 360 sticks, and then when I went to a friend's place and played on PlayStation 3, and they had those rolly ass sticks with no like pushback
Uh-huh.
and stuff, it really threw me out until they fixed
Right.
it in the 4. And so
Yeah,
like,
because 3 had the same, PS3 and PS2 had the same controller.
Oh, and like the PS4 controller is different to the PS2 and 3.
it feels a
Yes.
hell of a lot different.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, I remember going to my friend's house and being like this controller is weird, and like yeah, like the joystick in particular, like that was weird.
Yeah, and then like I'm shit at arcade games mostly, but especially at fighting games. So like moving all the way back to a joystick is like extremely unnatural for me. So I'm sort of thankful that they're moving into this thumbstick direction.
Right.
Ah.
I have a weird, like, I have a very weird history with joysticks. So, like, when I got back into fighting games, so, like, my first fighting game was Soul Calibur 3 on the Xbox, I think? Or Soul Calibur 2. It was Soul Calibur 2 or 3. I think it's probably 2, actually.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 2 on the Xbox. And so, my first experience with fighting games was on thumbsticks. But then when I got into Soul Calibur 6 when it came out, and that's when I rejoined the FGC. That's where I joined the FGC because like I was just playing at home. Soul Calibur 2 was just at home. I bought a arcade stick and then I started playing on on joystick, which is kind of like this weird. And so I still play FGC. I still play fighting games on stick.
Yeah, you do. You have a really
how-
cool little pad, don't you? It's all
But how
I
does
have
your
a-
experience change?
I have a combo obsidian for those who know and care. I used to have a RAP Hayabusa Silent.
Hayabusa.
Hayabusa.
I don't know what any of these words mean, but they sound really cool.
Someone will understand. Someone watching
Yeah.
will understand.
I'll send it to my fighting game friends, and they can
Yeah, same
confirm
thing.
that it's cool.
But I bought a combo obsidian here, just because I always wanted a combo, and I just really like the design. I think it has this really like timeless design to it. Talking about the difference, like, well, there's like the competitive difference in that joystick is it's easier to do certain maneuvers on joystick, although that's kind of like that's a gap that's being closed by the fact that fighting games are now designed for D-pads.
Oh, yeah.
Then it means like D-pads not for joysticks anymore. So that's kind of not a thing you worry about anymore. But like, it was kind of just fun to learn a new input method
Yeah.
when I came to fighting games. But now I'm considering. Well, I'm not playing fighting games right now, and I don't have time to really play fighting games because I have so many things going on. But if I did get back into fighting games, I might consider playing on Mixbox or a Hitbox.
I have no
Just
idea what those are.
because
Me neither. But they sound cool.
Hitbox is essentially just not essentially. It's just
Isn't
buttons.
that the thing where your Smash Brothers character gets hit and then gets like spiked off a stage? Isn't that the hitbox?
It's complicated because the hitbox is literally called a hitbox. The hitbox is a game design term. Like the hitbox is what the software is seeing as the physical space in which that counts as an active hit area. So like a hitbox is activated when you press when you press the attack button, like a hitbox appears, and like if that hitbox touches a hurt box, then it counts as a hit, right? And so that's where the term hitbox comes from. And but the people who made the physical controller called the hitbox took that as the name, which is confusing.
Cute. I like that.
And then so the hitbox is just arcade buttons.
Oh, just arcade buttons.
Up, down, left, right.
Stick.
Up, down, left, right are all just buttons.
Oh, so it's closer to like a D-pad, except is it buttons?
Correct. Exactly. But because they're bigger and you use your whole finger to control each, it gives you more control.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like one of those students who's like asked the teacher something that's like unrelated to the class, but like they're super into, and I managed to like derail the class for everyone, and then there's no homework. Yes.
It's related. It's related.
It is related. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sensei. Tell us about the racing games. Why do we go to racing games?
Because we were talking about technology, right? And coming back to technology. Yeah. Like I remember One Gun Midnight 3DX. Like you had these, like instead of like an IC card, which you would use now to store your information, they had these like silver plated, like metallic cards where they would print they would print the information of your character, of your car on, and you would turn up physically onto like the card.
Wait, physically, like as in like it would look like a bunch of jumbled like symbols, or would it like look like the thing?
It would look like a thing. It would write your name, it would write its stats, its recent history.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it would get rewritten every time you put it into the machine.
I want one.
What?
Yeah, and like when they moved to 4, it stopped because they moved to IC cards.
Oh, I mean, we haven't spoken about IC cards yet, but like, I mean, like they are quite amazing because you do like, instead of just turning up to an arcade and like a game center and you play some games and go home, it's like you get to keep your you get to like collect like points and like you get to collect items.
You have progression.
Yeah, and then there's like they also do that insidious thing of being like, oh, if you play 3 days in a row, you'll get a special outfit for your character, and it's like,
yay.
Oh no,
yes,
they've got me now. No, now I have to play every day to get the login bonus. It's like, this is why I can't play gacha games. But yeah, no, I do like the IC cards, like as an idea. Like it's nice to feel like you're, like, you have some ownership of your experience, I guess. That you wouldn't otherwise have.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a fun part about Japanese arcade games, is that you can save progress, and it's not just like one-offs.
Well, it depends on the game, of course.
Oh yeah, depends on the game. But yeah, that's kind of what is popular right now. I can't really think of anything else that's super duper popular in general. Like obviously you still have like fighting games. So if I walk into an arcade, I can see people sitting down and playing Tekken 7. Still people playing, like in the arcades that do have Street Fighter 5. Like there are people playing Street Fighter 5. Anime games, honestly, I don't see so much, but like in terms of fighting games, like the Gundam fighting game, which is like not a traditional fighting game, but it's like a 3D fight.
That's the top right one.
Is no, it's not.
Oh, okay, it's different. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The Gundam fighting game is played on stick, so it has joysticks. It has 6 buttons.
Ah, okay.
It's not a traditional fighter. Let me re-emphasize that for my FGC friends. It's definitely not a traditional fighter, but
We don't want to
definitely
get you cancelled for saying it's a traditional fighter.
it definitely like fits a lot of the boxes though, and like it's so popular. Like there's always somebody playing Gundam in a fighting in an arcade. And I've sat down and tried myself, but I just really cannot get into the rhythm.
Speaking of rhythm, Aki, are you missing? Are we forgetting something?
Are we forgetting something?
No. No.
We could see the next slide.
Oh, next slide, please.
Zen, are you okay? You're making these weird broken noises.
Oh, okay, where are we at? Oh no.
These
Where's
are
my
rhythm
drop?
games.
Where's my drop?
Can you
As the
not?
time
Taiko
comes.
had to. So well, Taiko.
As the time
Well,
comes. All right. So there are only two things you need to know about Taiko no Tatsujin. Red one is called Don, and you hit the white part of the drum. Blue one is called Katjang, or Donchan and Katjang. And Katjang, the blue one, you hit the side of the taiko. That's it.
Okay,
It's
next.
the best game in the world. I love it. It's so good. You get like, so it's like lots of like arcade games. Like you just kind of sit down and you just like blah 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 blah. But like rhythm games, and in particular things like DDR and Taiko no Tatsujin, which are my favorite. Like you actually get like a workout from it, which is
You do not
incredibly
get a
good.
workout
Like,
from Taiko no
you
Tatsujin.
absolutely do.
You
Like, so,
do not.
I
Your standards
like,
must be so low.
dude,
You're wiggling
like,
your arms a wee bit. Come on.
no, dude.
I mean,
dude, I'm
Dance
gonna
Dance,
send you some
yes.
pictures later. Okay, listeners, I love Rin very much, but please ignore his opinions on Taiko no Tatsujin.
No,
As
like I
someone
mean,
who has
the
probably over 1,000 hours in it across consoles. So like Taiko no Tatsujin is like it's a full body workout. At least like so. At the end of a Taiko no Tatsujin session where I've played like I don't know, like maybe 15 songs, like I walk away sweating. And like it's not only me, it's like the really hardcore people, they also walk away sweating. And your arms are like tired for days. Like you get like the delayed onset muscle sore.
is it just
It's the
because
whole
these?
thing. It's
No,
the
but
whole thing.
the Taiko fans, they're all naturally sweaty. That's just the way they are. They're all hesi otaku.
I will not tolerate this slander against my people. These are my people.
Go back to 2009.
Taiko no Tatsujin is like not entry level, but it's the anyone can play one. It's like
Yes.
if you look at it, like you compare what it looks like to these other ones, like it's the most like kid friendly, anyone
Yeah.
friendly. The rest look kind of like otaku-y.
And often
like,
they put Taiko up the front because like
Oh, yeah.
it does draw in like the young crowd, and by the young
Yeah.
crowd I mean like literal 6-year-olds, because like
Yeah.
it's so simple. Like I explained it to you in like 2 steps, right? Like anyone can do it as long as you can like wave these like little drumsticks around and hit
Yeah.
the drum. Like you're good. And so like and you have to be able to see the screen also. Yeah, that's a problem. But like it's the barrier to entry is so low and it's so cheap. Like it's like 100 yen for like 3 plays usually. And like the other thing about Taiko no Tatsujin as a rhythm game is it has all of these songs which are popular at the time, and a large number of the songs are like from anime. So like you'll have like all of your like whatever like shonen anime is popular at the time, like the Naruto's and the Bokuakas, like they got the openings and things. They've got like Vocaloid. For a long time they've been like a huge supporter of Vocaloid songs, like I think since like 2013. Like they've maybe even earlier they've had Vocaloid songs, and now Vocaloid songs are actually a huge part of like the song list. And like classical music, which also I absolutely love seeing that.
Wait,
in a rhythm
wait,
game.
wait,
Like,
wait,
it
what?
makes me so happy. Yeah, like, you can
Classical
literally
music.
play. Yeah, you can play along to like all of these like classical music, like like opera stuff. Like there's like Carmen, it's like Flight of the Bumblebee, like all these like really
What
amazing
the
songs,
hell?
and you can just like taiko along to them. It's really fun. And
Amazing.
sometimes they're the hardest ones.
Wait, can you
And
do like Moonlight Sonata and shit to
I
like take on
haven't
the
seen
year?
Moonlight. Listen, I love Moonlight Sonata as a song, but like as a taiko
I
song,
know.
like it'd need to be a remix.
I feel like
Oh, and they do.
most.
There's such a cute. There's a remix of like Swan Lake, and like it's got like Japanese lyrics, and so it's like it's
What?
turned into a cute idol.
Oh
song.
wow.
It's the most fun thing to play. It's really cute. Like, and they do all these like remixes, and they also do like other video game music. Like there's like lately they've had Splatoon medleys. Sorry, that's embarrassing. Medleys, and they've had like Pokemon medleys. Monster Hunter has been like a popular song in it for ages, like the main theme, and I just like it kind of brings a lot of different like disparate communities together, and it's just really fun and positive. The character designs are cute, like everything about it is just really appealing, and so like I just love. It's like Bandai Namco. It's Namco, isn't it? It's Namco who does it. Namco. And I don't know. I just hats off to them because they've done a beautiful job at making a very fun game.
There's a few downsides though.
Yeah, okay. So you do get like sores on your hands from the taiko or bachi, which is like normal, I guess, because that drumming you just get sores on your hands because it hurts. And also sometimes the machines are broken, and sometimes they just like can't reset.
Yeah.
It's like
They tend to be
I try-
broken because like you have to hit it, and like that's the one that everyone plays.
it is the one that everyone plays, yeah. And so like lots of people like because it's also a console game, so at home you can literally buy your own like little taiko drum and your own bachi, and so you can play it on your like Nintendo Wii
Well, that
U,
won't become
Nintendo
a
Switch.
freaking Kinzomeoka.
It doesn't make that much noise, I don't think. But like, and lots of people like the serious people like who turn up they rock up to the arcade and they just walk up with their own bachi, my bachi, which is like your own drumsticks that you bring from home, and so it's not all like beat up like the ones that's provided. But yeah, I don't know. I highly, if you ever find yourself in Japan, like at a Geisen, like walk up to Taiko no Tatsujin and have a whack at it. It's amazing, fantastic
There,
game.
I dare say the other downside is that, as you put it, it's very simple and easy to play because there's only two things you can do, which is also means there's only two things you can do,
Well,
and that
that's the
sort of
thing,
limits
so-
your fun quite a bit. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
so like that is a valid criticism. Like the mechanics are very simple, and because of that, like there's only so much that you can do with it as far as patterns and complexity goes. But like I feel like a lot of it is the fact that it's like a workout as well. So I think that keeps people coming back.
Disputed.
Like Rin, I'd love to see to see you finish Kageki on Oni, and then you be like, oh no, this isn't a workout. That's fine. It's just like I just walk away sweating. It's the best.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, you're on. All right, I'll see you in the Gersen. Fight me.
Which one? Where? When?
Fukuoka in like however many weeks. Whenever I see you next. All right. Okay. Well, we've got a duel. You can come watch us like battle it out.
I'll film.
There are still flights available, Aki.
Oof.
And can I like talk about DDR a little? I'm
Yeah,
not
go
quite
ahead.
as
Talk
knowledgeable
about
about
DDR.
Like DDR, like I feel like you would have like it's more fun to do it in your own home. Like personally, like if you get one of like the really good like dance pads, which I had for a bit while I was in Australia. Like I had the best time on like Stepmania, which is like the open source version of DDR that you can put on your PC. But like in the game center, like it's not quite as easily accessible to like all audiences, but like it's a huge workout. DDR is like amazing. It's fantastic for like getting exercise if you're an otaku who does nothing else, like i.e. me most of the time. Yeah, it's good. Don't fall over. Hold the bar. Why doesn't that one have a bar? Usually they have bars that you lean onto. So you
That's
don't, like,
not DDR
fall
though.
over. Oh, it isn't DDR. Well, amateur mistake.
What if you're
I'm
high
glad no
level
one
and you
saw
don't need
that.
the bar?
That is Dance Rush Stardom, and that is super fun. It's like this DDR slash like dance, just dance like hybrid.
Ooh.
If you haven't tried it, you have not tried. You tried it?
I've never tried it. I actually didn't
You
even know
have
it.
to
I was
try
just like, that's DDR, right? I'm just going to talk about it as if it's DDR. Yeah, no,
have
I
to-
need to try it.
Oh, I have to try it. It's super cool. You just look up videos of it on YouTube. Like it's so
Ooh.
hype, and like you can really get super creative with how you play it. Like people, you can really dance on it, which is kind of part of the fun.
Oh yeah, because like DDR, it's not really dancing. It's just kind of moving in a frantic and like
Yeah.
it's awesome. But
But
it's
Dance
that
Rush, you
sounds
can
cool,
actually really dance on it. It's super cool.
Ooh.
And when we talk about like, so Taiko Tachi is great to talk about. And kind of this bastion of rhythm games that has never died.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then we have to talk about Jubeat. We talk about My My, which is kind of that older
Washing machine,
generation.
washing machine.
Yeah, machine. And like, there's not much to say except that it's so My My has been very popular for a long time.
Explain to the people how it works.
So there's a touchscreen. So that circular thing is a touchscreen. Circular screen is a touchscreen, and then there are those buttons on the outside. And so the notes start at the middle, and then they travel outwards towards the buttons.
And then you press the buttons when it gets.
And
to
you
the
press
thing.
the buttons when it gets to the
Does it light up?
end. It lights up. Yeah, it always lights it up. So it flashes.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And recently, so there was a very big update to there's a very big update to My My in which they added like new note types. So there used to be like holds,
Ooh.
swipes where you swipe across the screen, and there's the normal taps. But then they added the kind of the notes that just appear and they don't travel, so they just appear like in the middle of the screen.
Oh wow, that's spooky.
Yeah, and I really didn't like that, so I stopped playing My My because of.
Oh wait, really that bad? Whoa. That would have been divisive choice by the developers of My split the community.
I don't know. It was probably important for them to kind of like keep spicing up the gameplay. Like a very big update as well. Like sometimes back. Like so, like there was another early major update that increased the different kinds of notes that there were. Like they increased the amount of like types of slide notes, dual hold notes, and that was very fun. But I felt like the taps kind of broke the formula too much.
Well, you can't have a broken tap on your washing machine.
Well,
What?
you know,
Listen, that was a better joke than I was going to make one about like either Bleach or Spin Cycle.
No,
that was the
it
best
wasn't.
I had.
No.
I'll try to give you that.
Look at the thing. Like it says My DX Deluxe Splash. Like they're leaning into the washing machine thing. Like listen, they're asking me to make the joke.
It's a tropical.
That wasn't a joke.
It's a beach theme.
Oh, it's beach themed. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I take it back.
Like, look at the fruits.
I
and
can't.
But a very important like update was the fact that My My got a headphone jack.
Oh, that's like revolutionary.
Yeah, so after My My came stuff like Sound Vortex, Chunithm. So Chunithm is the one right above that I still regularly play. It's like a
And
piano.
Sound Vortex is the one on the right.
It's the one on the bottom right, yeah. So like
Right.
Chunithm is the one where like it's kind of like a piano, so you tap. So if you're familiar with like Project Sekai, Ondori, it's like that, but you raise your hands as well. So there's a sensor above the actual like note tapping bar that so you hit certain notes that require you to raise your hands and tap in the air. So that's very, very fun.
I've seen Aki do this, and it is like motion art. It's like dance with just hands. It's like so cool to watch.
It's
And
very
like
fun.
I was like so like shocked the first time you went, and then like you just like opened up your bag and you pull out these like white gloves. I'm like, oh, you're gonna drive my car for me? Like, no. It's like you need these, otherwise you literally get like carpet burn ish injuries on your hands. And when I had to go, I was like, oh yeah, I do need some gloves actually. It's like so cool to watch.
It's like one of the only games that I'm actually would go out of my way to stop at a GSM. Just because it's so immersive, it scratches the same sort of itches like karaoke. Like it's just in your face. It feels like
it really does.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, and the glove thing actually started with My My. So there's some people who play Chunithm and insist you can play Chunithm without gloves. I do not believe those people. Don't believe those people. Wear gloves.
Those people are lying. Their hands probably have no sensations left in them.
Yeah, their hands probably have no sensations. I don't know how they do it. But like it started with My because you have to swipe super well. Same like the screen surface of My is not very glossy. So like if you have sweaty hands, you it makes these terrible screeching noises, and like you can actually burn. I've burned my hands like when I forgot to bring gloves to the arcade, and I
Oh,
decide to
that
just
sounds
like
horrible.
yeah. Um,
It's an occupational hazard for my players.
it
and
is.
chunithm
Oh, but
players.
if you play in Japan, there's probably like nowadays there are like gesen where they sell gloves inside
What?
I was
the game
wondering if
center.
any did that. Yeah,
In case you want
Yeah,
to
like
commit
they
a
have
crime.
like yeah.
I'm watching Machine Crime.
Oh, no.
The crime was forgetting to bring your gloves in the first place.
True. Yeah, it's fixed.
But, like-
Murder the other chap who forgot to bring their gloves.
Oh, watch out! Don't
Someone
play
got
next to
sweat
me.
on the machine. Just
Oh.
Your song choice, I do not approve. I'll see you out back.
I think it's to talk about like my mind in terms of like you can see how it has two machines running into each other. My machines are paired. I don't know how it was like in Japan, but like back in Singapore, you used to get one extra game if you played with a friend.
Oh, that's cute.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
so one credit is always three. Is three if you play alone, but if you brought a friend, one credit is for 4 songs.
Sorry,
Oh.
I can't stop laughing. Without looking at the clock, do you two want to guess how long we've been talking about games?
I already looked at the clock.
It's long.
So like, listeners, last time we were like, we promise we'll never make like we were talking, I don't remember if it was on the pod or not, but like we were talking between ourselves afterwards, and we're like, we swear we will never make an episode that goes like anywhere near 3 hours ever again. We'll never do it. Like we promise we're going to reduce the number of slides. We're going to like actually that's all we said, but and here we are.
Here we are.
Next minute.
There's just so much to talk about, you know.
There is so much to talk about, and that's the thing, Aki. Like you just like Aki, like you are our link to this subculture, and it's so freaking like okuga fukai. Like it's this,
It is really
it's so
okuga fukai.
deep. I love it.
I love it, and I really hope that arcades will continue to exist.
Do you want to tell us about Sound Vortex and what's the other one?
Yeah, let me finish about my first. So
Oh
like,
yeah, sorry, yeah, my
it comes in pairs, right? And it's like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
see this. There's an early trend in rhythm games in which they are meant to be social. So Taiko no Taijin, you can see it in
yeah,
pair as well.
two-player. Yeah.
DDR is in a pair as well.
Yes, of course.
But there is a divergence when you get to chunithm, ongeki, sound vortex, where they become solo play.
And like
Jubeat
like,
is the earlier one
what's
as
it called?
well.
The Vocaloid one as well. That one's solo play as well.
Yeah. What's it called? Oh my god.
It's so embarrassing. Project Diva.
Project Diva, yeah. Diva, that's also single play.
Yeah.
But then it comes back a little bit in like Dantron Stardom World, because Dantron Stardom has lineage with DDR, so it kind of needs to be a 2-player thing.
Yeah.
But now like the new one, they're all kind of solo play now, which is quite interesting. You can see how that social factor has been de-emphasized in the future.
Yeah. COVID, is that a pre-COVID thing?
It's a pre-COVID thing.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, like, I guess kind of like the idea of trying to have anything social happen in a game center is like kind of flawed by design because of how stupidly loud it is. Like
How
unless,
little
like, you're
friends the average
conversing-
gamer has.
like hidoi na. But
I'm
like
joking.
unless you're conversing in like sign language, it's like there's no meaningful conversation that I've ever had in a game center. Like
It's fun to shout out.
It's fun to share. I swear a lot of my hearing loss, whatever I have, is from game centers. So I'm gonna point the finger directly, but yeah, I like, but like you were saying that you can bring friends, and like with some of them, like there's like you get things for bringing friends.
Yeah, you do. I mean, this not so common anymore. So I'm kind of just noting how that is something that's changed over time.
Rin, is that your alarm? Do you need to?
What? Nothing is vibrating.
Wait, really? Something is vibrating. Maybe it's on Aki's end.
Oh, it's my phone. I have Pablo staying with me today.
Oh, really? Shout out to friend of the pod, Pablo. Is he like literally in the room? Pablo? Pablo, are you there?
No, he's asking me if I want like McDonald's.
What a legend. See, like, don't podcast alone. Like, podcasting is always better with, like, if you can have someone there as emotional support in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, don't worry. He'll come at me. You can just chill while we finish up. But
Yeah, we're
well,
probably
let's let's finish. What were you saying before I got interrupted?
It's like how like you can't really have a conversation in a game center.
Oh yeah,
it's
you can.
really
You
loud,
definitely
yeah.
can vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
And going over to well, I don't really have much to say about Sound Vortex. Really, I
sounds
don't play Sound
noisy.
Vortex. It's too complicated for me. I do not like it. The placement of notes just does not make sense in my head. I cannot play it, just like I cannot play Beatmania. Beatmania is excluded here. I'm sure some Beatmania fans be very annoyed, and the fact that I did include Guitar Hero is also weird. Guitar
But,
Hero,
like
like
Guitar Hero isn't like a thing here. I've never
it is
seen
not. We have Gitadora, which is like, and then there's like the drum version of it, which I don't know what it's called. That is like they're just so complicated. You might as well just like learn to play the instrument at that point.
that. Yeah, it's probably
Like the
easier.
drum version is full on just the drum set.
Wow, actually, I think I've seen
That's
that
kinda cool, though.
once somewhere.
Yeah, and like it's
Yeah.
it's like you literally just need to be able to play the drums.
See, I'm not sure whether I'd be like able to do that or not, because I can sort of play the drums, but I'm also sort of shit. So if you go and sit down at it, people are like, "Oh wow, you can actually make it work," or is it like, "Oh wow, that person's a shit drummer and they should go just leave"?
Fair.
Aki, if you find one in Tokyo, like message us and we'll all meet there. We can
Sure,
watch him do some drumming.
watch me.
We can decide whether
watch.
he's a good drummer.
Yeah, we'll judge.
I'd record. Wait. So I'm surprised to hear that there's one that's too complex for you, but like, I mean, it's also understandable. Sometimes they go a bit crazy with like the.
It's just my brain just doesn't like because there's like 4 buttons in front, 2 buttons behind, and then there's 2 knobs you have to turn according to like the long notes.
Oh, that's too much. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And like they tend to not have the songs I like anyways. They have like very electronica, very like rhythm game only songs. Like I'm the kind of rhythm gamer that likes like I like those songs when I'm chasing like higher scores and higher like more different beat maps. But like
Yeah.
nowadays I just like going and playing whatever new songs are on and like whatever like new tie-in like anime song is popular.
Yeah, like anime
and,
songs and like yeah. Just like
I'm
pop-
annoying me.
pop
And I
songs.
play all the Nico Nico songs. I play all the vocal songs.
Yay!
I still contend that the most hype song of like recent years for these sort of games is Odo.
Oh yeah, it's so
yeah,
cool.
Odo's really good on that.
Odo is just a hype song. Like, go listen to Odo by Ado, which is I know it's confusing.
Odo by
Listen to
Ado.
Ado's Odo.
Ado's Odo.
Ado's Odo.
Just listen
Odo
to
by
anything
Ado.
by Ado, seriously. Like
Yeah, no, she's amazing.
all good.
She deserves her hype.
Her writers are amazing as well. Credit to the writers and her producers.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, the
And lots of them
songwriters,
are-
the
lots of them are
composers,
from
like
freaking like Vocaloid community, which makes me so happy. Yeah, so it's like, oh, my favorite producers that have moved up in the world and they're producing for amazing Odo. Ado. Oh no.
If we want to sum up
No.
our, if we want to
No,
sum up our,
Aki, I'm sorry. I need you to
Oh.
tell us about one more game.
what?
Aki, the warmth of the anime girl game.
what?
Can you tell us about that one?
Oh,
One where you literally touch the anime girl's hands.
Yeah, there's this new,
The
new
fuck?
arcade. There's this new game where you can like I forgot what it's called.
Oh no, what's it called? I'll look it up.
There's this new rhythm game where like it's this huge screen and like there's this girl like there's this anime girl who's like they sing to your height, so you input your height, so she's the same height as you, and like the screen it looks like so you tap the screen according to the beat of the song or whatever the beat map and then she is doing this dance where like her hands are lined up with your hands.
Oh, this one.
Te to te connecto. Yeah, connect.
Tetote Connecto.
It
I
does
typed
look
in-
fun, but at the same time, it just
I typed in Gorilla Sugita Tomokazu and I didn't get the answers that I wanted. But
Yeah, te to te. Yeah, so there's like
no. Those are the answers you
can,
want.
You can dance with the cute anime girls, but you can also dance with the gorilla voiced by Sugita Tomokazu.
And let's be honest, everyone would
love
choose the
it.
gorilla.
It's like
Listen,
something
I
for
will dance with
everybody.
Gorilla.
I forgot who I chose when I played, but
You chose the character that's like your archetype, that like your type of girl.
yeah,
Yeah, listen.
Uh,
We all have
we
a
all have a
type
type.
of
We
anime
all
And
have
all
girl.
the
our
voice
rules.
actors on that one are actually pretty good though. Like they're super
Yeah,
A
They're all
class.
like super well known. Yeah.
they legit got like really good voice actors.
They put all the money into it. But like you were saying, like you don't think it has a future, kind of.
It's not very complicated. It's a bit too easy. It's a bit too like there is a good balance to complexity that a rhythm game has to find to have longevity. So like the games that last long tend to be in that sweet spot of complexity.
Mm. And also, I feel like the enjoyment of like, wow, I'm like kind of holding hands with cute anime girl is kind of dampened by the fact that as you run your like sweaty hands over the screen, like you get the same like finger burn situation going. It's like, why is my anime girl hurting me? Why are you hurting me?
You
Unless
don't
you
want
wear
a layer
gloves.
of gloves in between you and this precious anime girl.
No, you can't. That's blasphemy. You have to feel the warmth of the anime
Aw.
girl. So it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's like flawed in that way, unless they get like really like shiny screens somehow. I don't know how that would
True.
work.
That's an interesting thought. But
Only when they can make this game work with the FGO characters.
Then truly the ultimate game will have been created. We can all go home. Stop
Yes.
creating games.
Hold hands with FGO girls.
It would make all the money.
one day. Yeah.
That's a beautiful note to end.
That's the
Is this
future.
the
Holding
end?
hands with anime
it?
girls. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's the end of our episode.
I'm changing my
Yeah.
degree. I'm going to go make that.
Alright.
You're gonna go back to Vike. You're gonna
Be the
you're gonna
future
start
you wanna
programming.
see.
I'm going to do VR MMORPG, and I'm just going to make a game where you can go on dates with FGO girls.
Yeah, do it. Listen, dude, I support. your
Literally
dreams.
biggest thing.
Maybe you can like work it into your like history degree somehow. The history of the future of holding hands with
History is about to change.
Amazing.
You get a time machine and you go back and you just like invent this game in the 1980s somehow.
And just completely accelerate the low birth rate problem.
Oh no. Oh no. Podcast delirium has set in.
And so before we all fall prey to the Posgillium, what do we feel about arcade games? One word, let's go.
Arcade games are fun and they have to keep changing. Yeah, like they've been good. They've been good, but like they may need to change into the future, and I don't want to see Taiko no Tatsujin disappear. Like
Same.
as long as Taiko no Tatsujin still exists in like 2060 in mostly the same form, like humanity will be okay.
2060.
I think the future
Mic
of
drop.
I think the future of arcades are really just games and rhythm games and other kinds of novelty games that give you a reason to go to arcades. I hope arcades, like the crane games, are essential, are an inherently social thing because like everyone loves seeing if you can actually get it out, and I want like the actual games themselves to continue to tap into that, into maybe having more of these games being created in pairs or have some kind of gimmick that involves multiple people playing, because I think that's one big thing. Like local multiplayer is a big thing that arcades can deliver that isn't so emphasized anymore in the other gaming space. So I think it would be cool to see arcades tapping on that again more. That's my opinion.
I think arcades need to all have headphone jacks, all of them,
All of
so you
them.
can actually have like a freaking conversation with your friends, and it
Yeah.
doesn't destroy your earbuds.
Maybe they
ear
should start
drums.
selling. They should start selling earplugs, like concert earplugs.
That is a good idea. And that's just an excuse if you're talking with a friend, or more like you're being talked at by a friend and you don't want to hear them anymore. You just go in a gear set and be like, oh, no, sorry, earbuds.
No, like
sorry, I'm playing like Project Sekai.
no,
now.
they're like concert earplugs where like they block out only like surrounding noise and allow you to focus on like the sound you focus on.
Oh,
That's so rad. I want to
I
do
didn't know that
that.
was a thing. Cool.
Yeah, Like
I like my idea
I'm
better,
planning on
but
buying
still.
them so that I can go to concerts and not have my eardrums be destroyed.
But how much are they though?
They can be a bit expensive, but it depends on the quality.
No, save up for those. What is it? G1 headphones.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Don't
the
encourage
open
them.
back studio headphones.
I want them so
We
bad.
have two audiophiles here on this podcast, folks, and
Those ones we
they spend so much money on headphones. It boggles my
No,
mind.
I don't
The
spend that much
headphones-
money on headphones. I mean,
oh yeah, you look at the headphones that are spending much money to buy.
I mean, so does everyone.
I do
So does-
too.
I would hope.
They do sound amazing. Rin, final thoughts, closing thoughts on GSN.
I mean, not much to say. I know barely anything about them, but I know slightly more than I used to now. Gaysen, I feel like, should be made more approachable for the common person if they're going to remain relevant, because they're constantly trying to market towards a certain age group and a certain type of person. And I feel like it's only getting narrower, to be honest.
I hear you. I see that.
Yeah, maybe it's become like less like, oh, let's go with our friends after school. It's more like, I'm a nerd and I go
A bit
here
more
for nerd
otaku,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know how long that's going to last. The only thing is, when they make it more generic, it also becomes less fun.
Oh, this is
So
true.
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
these developers need to pull their finger out and
How
get
do
to
they
work
walk
on
the
the shit.
yeah. How do they walk that balance? Right?
Exactly. I
That's
guess
tricky.
after hearing this enormous explanation, my brain's sort of fried. But I feel like I've learned the world of arcades is deeper than I initially thought.
That's great.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Aki. That was an amazing deep dive. I love it.
That's the arcade episode.
That's it. That's a wrap. Are we doing another one?
I guess we're doing another one.
I guess we're doing another one. Folks, if you'd like to see our next one, yeah,
Don't
tune
die.
in next time.
Stay tuned, like and subscribe.
Oh no, Aki, no! We said
Share
we're not
it,
gonna do
share
that.
it, share it with
No,
your friends.
No, Aki, no! We sold out.
Write
already.
our
This is
URL
only
on
the
your
second
dog and put a
episode.
post-it note on your dog, and then walk to the park, and then like, actually no, just put the QR code of your dog. Just make the dog bark your QR code.
We've gone in a strange direction here at Wakatta Furi, but we hope you get the point, which is we would love to see you next time for our next episode, which will be on something. And
Online,
look forward
probably.
to that. It'll be online.
On the interweb.
Yeah, look for us on the interweb.
Use your electronic keyboard and use the interweb.
We are running off like 1.5 brain cells between us at this point. Yeah. All right, Aki, want to wrap it up?
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Yeah,
Arigato
auf Wiedersehen.
ne. Mata kite ne. Bye bye.